Looks like we're live. What's up, guys? Welcome to Real Thoughts Project. So, just figured I'd do a live stream over here on this channel while I'm still here in the command center. Just did a live stream on the other channel a little bit ago. So, let's see if some people find this. If not, we're going to go ahead and, well, between now and then, we're going to go ahead and find some articles and stuff like that we're going to look at today. But if you're new here, welcome in. It's Real Thoughts Project. Real thoughts are better than fake thoughts, than AI thoughts, than programmed thoughts, things like that. So, what's up? Sonoran Sky 33rd is in the house. Welcome in. Welcome into the live stream. So, this one probably won't be quite as popping as my other channel right now because it's a smaller channel. So I appreciate everybody that does show up. We'll be able to have a little bit more of a one-on-one conversation actually about a lot of different things. So let me go ahead and get myself into my account over here. D-Man, what's up? Welcome in. All right, so I'm gonna start doing more lives over here on this one. We're gonna grow this channel. We gotta grow this channel up as well. What's up, brother man? So, okay, I'm in over here. So let me go and find my live stream. There it is. All right. Okay, let me hook up this thing here real quick. Yep. How's my audio? Is it good? Tuber Chat is in the house too. Kevin, what's up? How's it going? I'm on the small channel today. Understandable. Yes. Jaden, welcome in. Welcome in, everybody. Cool. So we're going to get this started. Got a headset there. Cool. All right. Good and good. Awesome. Fantastic. All right. So let me see if I can get this going. Let's get my stuff up here. Open up a new page. Tuber Chat is saying hello to everybody. My YouTube page here, so I can look at my previous videos, and we'll go through some of the previous videos and what I was trying to do there, and then we'll talk about where we're gonna go from there. So let me do that real quick. So let me see. We need to go to. I need to actually switch accounts. Yep, need to go there. I think I need to do the same thing over here. Sorry, guys. Just used to going live on Driving Daily and just like popping up. It's very quick for me there because I have all my description and like everything is already ready to roll over there. So now, yes, I'm in the chat here as Real Thoughts Project. Now I can look at the videos because that's where we're going to start our conversation for the day. Your videos. All right, so that's my videos. All right. We got 6 people in the house, which is pretty good for over here. This is only the second live stream that I've done on this channel. And this isn't a DoorDash related channel, so we're not really talking about DoorDash today. Although I will, for the rest of you guys who were over in the other chat earlier, apparently DoorDash did turn on its services about like right after we got off that live stream on Driving Daily. So apparently you can, and they have like pretty high peak pays. So I'll just throw that out there for the DoorDash people. All right, there's my videos. Good deal. So I focused a lot on AI. I have focused a lot on what does that mean for us as humans? What does that mean for going forward? You know, a lot of us, AI is implemented in almost everything we do nowadays. Lakeside Laura, welcome in. Welcome to the chat, to the live stream. I appreciate you being here. AI is integrated. It's going to be integrated in pretty much everything. Obviously, we use it to make our images. People do. I don't really, but people do. And people have used it to make images for me, right? Like for things that they were doing to help me out, and they used AI in the process. So there's no getting away from it. In my last video, I mentioned about great to see you live. Great to see you here as well. I mentioned that it's competing for more than just jobs. A lot of people talk about AI taking our jobs, things like that. But it's competing for more than jobs because if you think about it, not the little like videos You know, creating videos, creating music on Suno, stuff like that. I think that's a whole different ball game than the thing like governments are doing, um, where they're going to use AI to aggregate all the information and all the data on every single person and every single thing. And it's going to be all, completely accessible from central locations, centralized sources. Whoever has access to that, right? Now, to do this, they require huge data centers, these huge data centers for the AI to operate, right? And now that actually competes for more resources than just jobs, because it requires cooling. It's computing, so it requires a massive amount of cooling, and that's water. It means water. So whenever they put a data center into a new location, it requires a massive amount of water, which is something you really can't transfer. You have to take the water from the existing location. So this is something I was thinking about in the last video. I was like, okay, so they're competing. AI is competing for more than just taking our jobs. Making videos with talking heads. That is something. There are videos on YouTube. In fact, there are channels that are talking head videos, just like what I'm doing, kind of like right now, that are not even real people. And I feel like it's been that way for quite a while, actually. So that's something to think about too. But it's definitely competing for resources, like water being one of those primary resources, and land being another resource, because you have to have a place to put these data centers. And it's going to create jobs right off the bat, because people are going to have to build the data centers. But after the data centers are built, it's not going to require as many jobs. So that's going to be a diminishing return over time, in my opinion. So we're looking at that. So that's one of the things on my last video. That's what I was talking about. I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts on that. Let me get in here in the chat here as well. We've got 9 people in the house. Got 8 likes on the board. I do appreciate you guys hanging out, spending some time with me. This is a little bit different than our other videos that we do on the Driving Daily channel. So we get into a little bit of different depth. Now, today, we can go pretty much anywhere. Kendra, welcome in. Good to see you. Appreciate you being over here. All right, so so another video that I did, and some of the things we talk about over here, and going forward, we're going to kind of get into these things a little bit. The last video, but previous to that, was they will say it was luck, but you know better. All right, they will say when you succeed, when you build something, that it was luck, because we're not just focused on AI over here, right? We're not just focused on that. I've spoken about the flock cameras, because I've seen those in my area. I've seen them in all of the towns that surround here. The flock cameras, that's the AI aggregated information on all the cars driving past those cameras all the time. That's one more thing that they need the data centers for. But we take that and put it to the side. What are we really doing here? Why are we talking about that? Well, we're talking about because we're trying to figure out what we can do to better our situation, better our family situation. So of course this involves building things, building systems, building a business, building a YouTube channel, writing books, whatever it is that you do to bring value to the world. When you succeed at these things, people are going to say that it's luck. And I've seen this before in my own life. I've seen it, in other people's lives, and then people that I was next to that were talking about it as if, oh wow, look at that guy, he's lucky. But at the end of the day, it's all decisions. Like, it's decisions that we make that make an impact. So it's important to understand that. Now, one of the themes of this channel is the understanding that everything is connected. Do you guys ever feel like everything is connected? Like, in other words, I'll use like the bigger picture things, like the money system, the banking, right? It's connected to the governments, it's connected to the politics, it's connected to this, it's connected to that, right? And so on and so forth. And then that's connected to our life, because we have to use the money to spend the money. We have to go work to make the money, so it's connected to our work, right? So you can isolate things to study an individual thing, but at the end of the day, you have to understand that everything all works as a system on this planet. At least it seems like it to me, anyway. Feel free to, give your thoughts on that. But it does feel like that. So what's up, Seven Figure Dashing Investor, a good example of how everything is connected. So we have a gig tuber, you know, what they call gig tubers, right? I don't like the terms. I don't like terms for what somebody is and isn't, because you got somebody like that. He's doing something that a lot of people do. He's doing it in a very different way. And he's looking at it in the sense of like, okay, I'm using this thing to get my goals met. Okay. Now you can't say, and by the way, 7-figure Dashing Investor makes like totals of like $320 a day on DoorDash. You can't say that's luck. You just can't say that's. Now he might be lucky to be in he might be fortunate to be in a good market where he does his work, but you can't say that that is luck. It's a series of decisions that have added up to what it is that he's doing. He's decided to spend a lot of time. He does 18 hours a day working, and so he is making a series of decisions that are resulting in the totals that he shows on his videos, which are insane, almost unbelievable to some people, because they haven't thought about the fact that when you make decisions every day, you get results based on those decisions, good or bad. So there it is. So that video that I did, they will say it's luck, but you know better, because you're the one building behind the scenes. You're the one that's putting in the work for 2, 3 years, 4 years before your YouTube channel goes and blows up, before your book ever gets published, and bestseller book, before you ever have a hit song. You're playing in bars, you're playing at birthday parties, and all that. I know several musicians, right? Great musicians, wonderful skill, and they're doing their thing long before you ever hear of them, before they get on the charts, right? Like that's a thing anymore. You know what I mean? Before you see them on the Spotify best, I don't even know what the list is. You know what I mean? But you get what I'm saying. They're top in the charts. They're growing underground, this root system, before they grow above ground. So that's what that was about. And I feel like that is connected. That's connected to our reality, to everything that we do. Everybody's saying hello. Absolutely. Choices and consequences. Yes, absolutely. And even the bad is good. Yeah, and bad things can be good things, right? We had a snowstorm here. It wasn't really much of a snowstorm. It's kind of an ice storm. I wasn't able to dash. My dash was actually not capable of being done today because the app was turned off. Now, I think it's turned back on now. Somebody sent me a message right after I was off my live stream on my other channel, and they said Dash is back on in the area, and they got all these high peak pays, whatever. But I'm here. I'm going to take that time, that thing that's a bad thing, and I'm going to try to use that for good as much as I can possibly do it. You know what I mean? So we're talking about decisions that you can make, things that are in your control. If it's not in your control, that is what it is. But anytime you're blessed to be able to have a decision to make, and we always make, some of us, all of us make bad decisions, but we got to try to stack a win if we can, because if you have a decision, I'm going to stack a win or I'm not, then you have to try to go for it, and it's going to add up. It's going to make a big difference in your life over time. So love seeing the younger generation standing up. Let's see. If you're lucky enough to win the lottery, you're lucky enough to get struck by lightning. Luck goes both ways. I tend to replace the word luck with blessed. Yeah, and that's a good way to look at it. And another thing is like, you could say somebody's lucky enough to win the lottery, but I've seen people win the lottery and it ruined their lives. You know what I'm saying? So, sometimes we want things, we think we want things, and it might not be the thing that's good for us. I mean, I've noticed that in a lot of different ways. Like, a lot of people, I know a lot of YouTubers, right? People that have small YouTube channels. And a lot of people want their channel to blow up. It's like, oh, I wish I had 1 million views. Well, there's a lot of things that comes along with 1 million views. There's a lot of things that comes along with even 100,000 views, right? You're going to have people that hate you. They're going to have people that say things, to you. Now, are you willing? You have thick skin. Are you ready for that? You might not be ready for that. What I'm saying is sometimes we have to grow into those successes, because instant success overnight is not always the good thing that people think that it is. You know, at least in my opinion. Is someone blessed to be struck by lightning? I'm guessing the point is like 1 in a million type of thing, right? Like the odds. I'm just reading your chats against you. Yeah, yeah. I mean, look, things happen. Things happen that are bad. There's no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it. But if you're given the decision, you have the opportunity. If you're given a decision at all, then you have the opportunity to make the most of it. So, bad things are lessons to sharpen your game. We learn from our challenges and learn how to get past them in the future faster and stronger. That's right. Yeah. And it's about perspective or relative to an individual. Yeah. So I've seen this in my life. I've seen individuals kind of self-sabotage, right? I've seen people do both. I've seen people that, you know, a lot of people are like, well, that guy's just like kind of dumb, right? But I've seen them be very successful because they just went on and just did their thing. They didn't sit there and think too much about it. Like, oh, I need to do this. I need to do that. What if this fails? What if that fails? But I've seen other people have the same exact opportunities and go the exact different direction with it. Like, well, I probably can't do that. You know, I mean, I don't want to do that because if this thing goes wrong, if that thing goes wrong, I've seen that happen, man. And that's, it's kind of like, so I did my first video on this channel way back was, well, that's not, oh, I got 2 pages of videos now actually over here. Did more than I thought. There will never be a perfect time to start. I did a video called There's Never Going to Be a Perfect Time to Start. And the reason I did that video is because I've met a lot of people that were like, oh, I'd love to start a YouTube channel. And you know, but they never do. They're like, well, I don't have the camera, and I don't have a computer, and I don't have the editing software, or I don't know what I'm doing, or a lot of different things, right? Now, I started my other YouTube channel not knowing anything about YouTube, not knowing anything about cameras. I didn't have a laptop. I didn't have a computer. I didn't have. I just had one cell phone. I didn't have anything, like any of that stuff. I didn't know how to upload until I uploaded the first video. Anything like that. And then there's like a bunch of times in the first like 2-3 years where you could have just said, hey, this isn't working, I'm just gonna quit, right? And then it turns out that eventually sometimes things do actually work because of the working over time behind the scenes for free, for nothing, without appreciation, with some people telling you you're an idiot, some people telling you this is probably gonna fail or whatever. And then eventually maybe it doesn't, right? Not saying it's going to work out for everybody, every little thing you do. I'm just saying a series of decisions adds up to a result. Angela is here. Welcome in, Angela. Hope you're doing well today. Never know unless you try. Worst case, we fall on our face and then get back up wiser and stronger than it takes to. Yeah. None of us knows what we're doing until we learn to do it. And the best way to learn is by doing it. So... and so this is also an issue with, you know, I'm not against technology. I'm not against even the AI, some of the AI stuff, right? Some of it's, you know, has promise. I think it's one of the best search engines, at least. But we live in a day and age where so much stuff is at your fingertips. It's like, you don't even have to really try. You don't even really have to put yourself out there, you know? Also, time's going to pass whether doing or trying or not, so might as well use the time productively. Otherwise, we end up down the road saying, dang it, I should have done it 6 months ago. Yes, and that's the thing. It's like, I thought about it. Once I finally got the hang of YouTube a little bit, I thought about it, and I was like, dude, if I'd have been doing YouTube back when we were building those Hondas and stuff, what a channel I would have, right? I mean, we were taking the Honda. We would go buy a car for $400, come back, take the engine out of it, take the seats out of it, take everything out, sand it down, fill all the stuff out, make it look good, do a lot of prep, you know, paint the car, paint the engine bay, find some custom seats or seats from a better car, put that back in, service the engine, put that back in, you know, all that stuff would have made great YouTube, especially back when we were doing it, me and my buddies or whatever back then. I didn't do it, but I know it now that if you'd have done that, like it'd been like, it would have taken off like a rocket back then. I know it would have. We had a blast doing it. They say if you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, you can't. Either way, you're right. Choose that. You can share that you are attempting something. You'll be amazed at the results. Yes, I've said that before too, and I don't know who actually said that phrase to begin with, but it is true. If you say you can't, like you're gonna make yourself right. If you say you can, you are. Now, I'm not saying, oh, well, I can fly to the moon, just with, whatever. But, you get the idea. So things that are like realistic goals, and I don't even know if I like the word, realistic in that sense, because some people don't know, until you've, say, internet money, that people talk about making internet money. Well, when you find out what they mean by making internet money, you're going to be shocked. You're going to be like, dang, I didn't even know that was possible to do that. And you won't know until you do it. And then you do it, I'll tell you, you'll be shocked and you'll be like, wow, I can't believe that that's a thing. Like that's a thing, and should have been doing that the whole time. Doesn't mean it's for everybody. I'm just using that as an example. It's unbelievable or unconceivable to some people. But if you thought, well, look, I could do that and then I could provide for, thousands of people, maybe hundreds of thousands of people, even in some cases, some kind of nugget of value. And then you go in to do that and you find out that it's real, that it could exist. It actually can happen, and it'll blow your mind. But you would never know unless you actually tried to do it. Body knowledge 77. People will take things more for granted with consistent, easy access. That's true, especially speaking with the technology and the things like that. We have the phones. I mean, YouTube like 10 years ago was a lot more difficult than it is now. Beyond that, further back, it was even more difficult because you'd have to have at the very beginning, you have to have a camera, a computer, you have to have storage, which storage isn't what it is now, wasn't what it is now. You would have to have a lot of different things all together and the knowledge how to use them. Now you just have a phone and you can just go on. And this includes like going on and like watching and also going on and creating content. So if we're talking about like YouTube, I use that as an example a lot because that's something I do. But it could go for a lot of different things, like, you know what I mean? And even just filming things, right? Before, you had to have the knowledge of the camera, the ins and outs, every little setting, the lenses, the all of this. Now, a good phone takes like very good pictures, dude. All of my thumbnails are just stills from video. And maybe I'll shoot like a 5 or 6 second video, just kind of look at the camera, boom, and I just pull a still out. Or if I shoot a video, I just pull a still from the actual video. I don't even make a special thumbnail, but it looks legit because the cameras are so good. The exposure and everything, all the settings, even the default settings in the camera are great on the phone. So we take it for granted or whatever. Hey, sometimes we might try something that we think we can't do and end up being surprised we actually could do it. That's true. Henry Ford, that's where the quote comes from. If you can do it, you're right. If you say you can do it, you're right. If you say you can't, you're also right. Not for me, Sean says. What are you talking about, Sean? If you shoot for the moon and only go up 50,000 feet, the experience is still exhilarating. Yes, exactly. Yeah, fantastic, dude. Like, I've actually said that before too, man. Like, if you shoot for the moon, I guess great minds think alike. If you shoot for the moon, you're at least gonna get higher than if you were to like try to just get on the top of your car, right? Like, you'll probably at least get an extension ladder. You might get in an airplane, right? You may even go work at NASA. Go to the space station. I don't know. You know what I mean? But you're going to go a lot further than you would if you just said, you know what? It's impossible because I'm not going to do anything. Let's see. I can't go live on my phone. Oh, Sean. Sean's like, I can't. It's not easy for me. Dude, I don't know what's going on with that, Sean. We're going to have to figure that out. I'm going to do some research, dude, and see if we can figure that out. Because you got to go live. Sean has like a great attitude. Dude, Sean's got like a great personality for YouTube. If you guys haven't seen his channel, his shorts that he's like, it's Sean, I'm in the car, it's 6:30. What are you doing, sleeping? He's like, wake up. He's got a great attitude, and I think he's got a great personality for YouTube. I think he'll blow up if he just gets some videos out there. Let's see. Are you my twin brother? I don't know, dude. You may not have been all the way to the moon, but you got farther than keeping your feet planted on the ground. Exactly. And there, of course, there's always the risk of falling to the ground to your detriment. But I have a lot of experience in life running risks for a living, basically. I mean, almost everything I've done has been some kind of a risk. Even the live streams I do on my other channel are a bit risky. If you think about live streaming and driving and things like that, that's risky. So running risks, you get a better return. You have more potential. You sometimes have potential downside, but you got to put up with that. Also, a lot of people say they want to win, but they don't want to potentially have those downsides, right? So if you're not willing to contend with the potential risks, the fact that, hey, this may not work out. I may look like a fool. I may have to go out there and I may just be embarrassed by it. But at the end of the day, that's the risk that almost everybody takes that actually goes out and does it. You're closer than I am, Sean. To what? To going live? HB says that sounds like Adam Sandler. I don't know what you're talking about by that. I can't either. You have to have 1,000 subs. You might be able to go live from the desktop. Well, I'm live on the phone right now. And I only have 200 and some subs on this channel. What have I got? 280? What have we got? 200 and something? So I'm live on the phone right now. So I'm not sure, because I was able to do it with 50 subs. So you should be able to do it. Hi, John. Hi, HB. How you doing? I love failing because we get to get back up. Standing back up takes strength, courage, and we're wiser and more equipped for what's ahead. Yeah, that's true. And and Kendra is a perfect example of that. Like, I mean, dude, if you've heard any of her story, I'll leave that for her to do on her channel. Go check it out. But if you've listened to her for any period of time, and then you observe her attitude and her willingness to go live, for example. And hopefully I'm not going too far with this, Kendra, but like even this, like sometimes, like, it's hard to go live for, let's just say it's hard to go live for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever, because you might not know what's going to happen, and it takes bravery to do that, and still have a great attitude. So yeah, I mean, obviously Kendra knows what she's talking about. Okay, well, I was just say like if you were worried that you were going to pass out on a live stream, right? You weren't going to be able to make it through, but you still have the willingness to get out and do the live stream. A lot of people would just say, no, I have a problem where I can't do that, and I don't want to pass out in front of 100 people. But Kendra says, no, I have an hour or so that I can go before I pass out, so I'm going to go and use that hour, and I'm going to connect with 100 people. So that is what I'm kind of talking about. But she exemplified. So when she's saying it, she's not saying empty words. Your impression of OG Sean sounded like Adam's. Oh, okay. I do the best I can, okay? It's not perfect. Let's see. Mine says that you'll have to have 50 subs to go live, which we have. It says to create more shorts. Yeah, it's going to suggest that you create more shorts in order to get more subs so that when you go live, you have more people. But we know with Seven Figure Dashing Investor and with OG Sean White that when you go live, a lot of us are going to go try to find that live stream. So you're going to have some people there as long as we know that you're going live. Like if I'm live and I hear that either one of you are live, I'm gonna be like, y'all go over there and watch the live stream. You know how I am. So I'm gonna do that. So you'll have people there. So you don't have to worry about making too many shorts. But I know you're probably picking up some subscribers because you're doing those shorts every day. I've seen a couple of them got a good amount of views too. And they're kind of addicting to watch, actually. I look forward to seeing them, what's on there every day. That's intersection. Only have interesting. I only have like 41 subscribers on my gaming channel. My husband has 25, but we're both going live before. Huh, that's interesting. Yeah, because Kendra, I wasn't able to go live on this channel until I had 50 subscribers. Yep. I wonder if that's because you guys set that up before. Maybe it's a new thing. Sometimes we're afraid of success. We're not used to being on stage or the focus of attention. We also have a natural draw to go back to our comfort zone. Yeah, that's so true. It is safer in the comfort zone. It's more comfortable. I mean, it's where we're at. We feel like we're at home. But really, you're at home wherever you're at. It's got to be home. And yes, people are afraid of success. I believe that. And that's why I say, like, and what will happen is you'll subconsciously self-sabotage, you know. And if you're just, and also if you're just looking out all the time, looking out at what other people are doing, you'll say, well, I'm not good like that, or I don't want to be bad like that. You see the terrible examples and you see the great examples of success or failure. And you're like, well, I don't want to be like that. And not realizing that you're probably going to experience both. You're going to put a video out. It's going to get like 5 views. You may put a video out that gets 100,000 views. I got 95,000 views on a video the other day on my other channel. Which I know to some channels that's not a big deal. To some channels that's not a big deal. But to mine it was. And I was like, wow, that's interesting. And then you think of the fact that 95,000 people have seen your video. Dang, well I didn't freaking do my hair that day. I didn't do anything. I just hopped in the car like I do every day and just made the quick video. You know what I mean? Now everybody's looking at you. So it is what it is, but you can't be scared of that because it's a reality. I mean, it's best to just be yourself. Because then you can always just be who you are. I did live streams from September to March. It didn't work out so great, but been doing that on my channel since 2013 though. I focused on shorts though, on a bit of a break. I post currently. Okay. We did that quite some time, so maybe it's a newer thing. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So go check back. So Kendra, I gotta get my email going. I have my email going. I'm gonna email you. I'll probably email 7-Figure Dashing Investor as well. See, I believe some people are afraid of success too, and yes, they self-sabotage. And they may not know they're self-sabotaging. They may not know that. It's so weird. I'm used to having like 100 people in the chat. I looked up at 21 and I was like, oh shoot, the thing's crashing. Different channel. It's good. This is good for this channel. 21 people I think is good because it's a new channel. So thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you guys. What's up, Logan? How's it going? Missed the stream yesterday. Had data problems. Oh, okay. We must push. Chev, what's good? We must push our comfort zone, out of our comfort zones. I think it's so important and necessary for personal growth. Absolutely. Absolutely. You never know who you are truly meant to be until you step into the role. And you might not even know what that is until it happens. This is why is it amazing when you find an individual that is an encourager like John, and even though some will want to grab for it when you... Success is inevitable. Hey, look, dude, I do want everybody to succeed. And I know we're not all the same. I know we don't all have the same ideas about political things, and we probably don't all have the same ideas about a lot of things. But you take the good with the bad, or you take the good and you throw out the bad, right? Somebody said, take the meat, leave the bone, or something. When you get something that, if you can get something out of it, get something out of it. That's what I'm trying to say. And if you have something that you don't like, don't worry about it. And that should be that way for everything. We're in the, that's what, so I have videos called about the social media mind control program. I call it the social media mind control program because if you look around, you see that everybody is algorithmically kind of funneled into a box, right? They want you to be, you know, a hardcore Republican or a hardcore Democrat or this or that. They want you to be in that box. They want you to listen to the things that are for the people in that box. They don't want you to listen for the things that are for the people in the other box. And the algorithm does it automatically because it takes what you like and it amplifies it. So if you start to like something, it will amplify it until everybody's in their little bubbles. And when they're in their little bubbles, they're not able to talk to one another. When you're not able to talk to one another, you lose a large amount of power as people, and the power goes back to the algorithm and whoever controls it to be able to divide people up. So that way we can't take the good and leave the bad. We can't take the meat and leave the bone because we see the bone and we say, oh, I don't want that, meat's bad. So I don't want any of the good stuff from that. And so we cut ourselves off from potential things that could help us out. So that's why I have a video about the social media mind control program, because I believe that, you know, now we're getting into tinfoil hat stuff a little bit, but I believe that all of the MK Ultra stuff that ever existed could never, I mean, in those days that it's known for, would never have been able to achieve what the phones achieve, you know, with people. So we can use these phones. These are amazing tools that we can use for our advantage, or they could be used against us. And so that's something I've been looking into. How can we use these to our advantage the best we can? Be a good example, or even use them to learn things, you know, to forward the things that we're doing in our life, and not let them be a hindrance to us by dragging us into more base kind of issues and things like that really just take away from us providing for our families, from achieving the things that that you're trying to achieve in life, and basically really doing what it is that you're put here on the face of this earth to do. I gotta turn this off. The heat is getting a little bit much. If that makes sense. What are you guys talking about? 21 highly engaged is better than 10,000 non-engaged. Absolutely. Absolutely. Self-sabotage is severe. Yes. I mean, it can be for all of us. It's not just for, you know, it's for all of us. We all have the same tendencies to a degree, right? Like we all have the same things that mess us up. Same, you know, maybe it's different things for different people, but you get what I'm saying. It's kind of that we all suffer from the same issues sometimes. And, but we also all have the same ability to like make the most of that, if that makes sense. No work today? Yeah, no. DoorDash was shut down earlier. It's back online, but it's so late. I'm trying to make the most out of it for my YouTube stuff. So I'm actually kind of rolling this whole issue into, now I'm live streaming on this channel again and trying to get this one going. So so I appreciate you guys being here. Yosef was out shoveling. Are you going live DoorDashing? Not today. Maybe tomorrow. So I definitely email you, bro, when you get set up. Okay, cool. Tell people the new plantation is the algorithm. It's kind of what I've been saying. In a way. Social media could be crazy, especially with AI. Yeah. Christianity says Mark of the Beast is phones, literally. I mean, it's something like it. Right? Totally agree. We have got to have discernment and make sure to stay genuine and make sure we're thinking for ourselves, right? And this is, if there's a simple thing in this channel that it is about thinking for yourself. Don't listen to me and believe everything I say. Don't listen to Seven Figure Dasher just to believe everything he says. Listen to it to see if it's something that's going to resonate and if there's something there that you can use. Now I see, so for me, like Seven Figure, for example, he's out there working 18-hour days on DoorDash. Now, am I going to go work 18-hour days on DoorDash? Probably not. I don't really want to, but it made me think, if I add an hour to the beginning and an hour to the end of my day that already exists, I'll be working 11 to 12 hour days, and I could increase my income per day between $30 and $40 extra a day by doing that. So that makes a huge difference overall on the weekly, which makes a huge difference overall on the yearly, which means I can invest more money, pay off whatever little debts that I have quicker. You know, I can get in this situation where my family's in a better situation faster by doing that. So, do I do exactly what Seven Figure Dasher does because he does it? No, I don't. But I take what the man has put out there and I'm going to listen to it. I'm going to say, okay, what can I gain? What is this? How is this going to help me? And then and that's kind of what I came up with. I was like, man, that kind of inspires me to add an extra hour every day. If I do that statistically, maybe on either end of the day, which is 2 extra hours, statistically, I would make between $30 to $40 extra a day. It just makes sense, right? So anyway, yeah, so with this channel, I mean, I like to think that, you know, we all need to think for ourselves. We all need to understand that how these algorithms work, how they're, you know, we're weak to them. I'm on the phone all day because I'm dashing all day, like live streaming. So I'm in this thing algorithm all the time. So how can I do that and still be able to think for myself? What is it, you know, that I'm going to do with my spare time? Am I going to watch the news over and over and over again? Or am I going to just like find places where I can get information that is the same information that the news stations are going to put out, but in a more concise, quick hitting format where I can then make up my mind all day. Like your subconscious could chew on the information. You don't have to sit there and have somebody tell you what to believe for 20, 30 minutes about one incident that you can look at a 1-minute video and you can read a couple sentences and you know all the information of what happened. And then you have to sit there and like listen to the news to chew this thing up for you and digest it and then give you the nutrients that they want you to have. So I can avoid that by trying to get my news kind of quickly and by efficiently looking at maybe 2 or 3 different sources, boom, 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 and not sit there and dwell on it too much, not sit there and listen to somebody talk about it for 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, right? Isn't it weird that the news, it's on like kind of like repeat, right? It's on all day. So one thing can happen. And guys, you know, there's things happening in our country right now that are kind of crazy. But I haven't sat and listened to the news talk about it or even commenters talk about these particular things that are happening over and over and over again because I know what that does. It's designed to kind of wear you down and to get you in a certain framework of thinking. And I don't want to be in the framework of thinking that I'm being forced to be in by repetitive over and over and over. I want to be able to think about things for myself, let my subconscious work on it, and then also come up with an understanding from it and then apply it to my life if I can. And if I can't, you know, there's a lot of things in the news that there's nothing you can do about it. If you have bad news and there's nothing you can do about it, there's not but so much to be done there, right? Take it in. I'll put it in my memory bank enough to where like it's there if something else connects with it, because everything is connected. And then I'm going to move on about my life and do what I have to do to get my stuff done. 7 Figure Dasher, where's he at? He's in a good zone. Well, he's in Arizona somewhere. I think he is in a good zone, but I think what he does is he does 18-hour days. If you do 18-hour days and you make $20 an hour, what is 2 times 18? It's like $360. So even if he makes $15 an hour, he's making over $300. You get what I'm saying? I think that might be right. I did that math kind of quick, but you understand what I'm saying? You do 18 hours a day, even if you made 15, that'd be 270. 16 would be $17 an hour. I think you're still making $300. So takes a lot to get to the point of not caring what others think. Oh, okay. Fear of scrutiny is real. Yeah, fear of scrutiny is real. But when you overcome that, amazing things can happen. You just got to be yourself. Well, the first thing to remember is you got to be yourself, because that's the only thing you can be. You're only created you, and you can only be that. And so if you try to be anything else, that's going to create friction, create problems for you. But if you're just yourself, then you don't have to worry about any of that. Not everybody's going to like you, you know. That should not be the point. If you want everybody to like you, you're going to have another friction point, and you're going to have another problem. But if you realize that not everybody's going to like you, not everybody's going to connect with you. If you're on the internet, there are like close to 400 million people in the United States. You know what I'm saying? So alone, and then it's worldwide. You don't need everybody to like you. That's not how it works. So you don't need that, and you shouldn't want that. If you everybody liked you, there's probably something wrong. You know what I mean? So don't worry about it, really. But I know that's easier said than done. Uber Eats working today. Yes, sir. Praise to you, brother. Yeah. And Logan, I think that DoorDash is back online as well. It takes a lot to get to the point of not caring what others think, and a lot of courage to kind of still care, but push past the fear and do the thing anyway. Yeah. You got to care, but you got to not care. Because you do want to care, because you want to put your best self out in a way. But at the same time, you know you're not always going to be your best self. So it depends on what you're doing. You know what I mean? But at the same time, so you do need to care that you put out good quality. But you'll always come back to the realization the only way to do that is to work on yourself, so that you always are good quality. You know what I'm saying? Like it's that's why when people say you got to work on yourself, or you got to take care of yourself, like it starts with you. That's true, because everything's going to then come out from there. You can't think like, oh well, I want to look like a superstar, so I'm just going to put the sunglasses on and like do the thing. That's not going to work. You gotta, if you want it, I mean, you gotta realize you are who you are, and then once you do that, once you realize that, then I don't say it's easy, but you don't have to really make anything up, right? You just be you, and then if you can work on being a better you, then you'll be better you all the time. So it really is important, I guess, to that's where trying to be better all the time is comes in handy. The source of these things that you're producing or whatever. And that's why also if you have faith, or you have something that you believe, the thing that you believe in that you could stand on, that's important, because that way you have a firm foundation with what you're doing, and behind that, everything you do will be a firm foundation. You won't have to worry so much about this and that, because it'll all take care of itself based on that firm foundation of reality. If you don't know what reality is, then we have a different problem. You know what I mean? You don't know what's real and what's not, then we have a different problem. Totally agree. We shouldn't believe things right away, and we should dismiss them. Shouldn't dismiss them right away. Look into it. Yeah, think for yourselves. Yeah, and a lot of things. There's two things can be true. Two things can be true at once. Body knowledge says it's good if people don't care about what other think, but it's also not a good thing. There's a certain balance. I think that's what I was kind of talking about too. Yeah, there's a balance, because you don't want to put out there something that's going to hurt somebody. So you can't just. There's a lot of people now. The internet is full of people who are narcissistic and don't care what other people think, but in a bad way. Like in other words, to the point where it's to their detriment and to the detriment of people who watch them. Right. So that is a good point. There is a balance in life. Do you like Tony Robbins or Jim Quick? Not really. A lot of these motivational speakers got some other stuff going on, man, and I'm not so sure about it. But it is what it is. But I'm not against it. Like I said, with anything, take the good, leave the bad. There are books that I have read that are from people of that type, and I've gotten a lot of good stuff out of it. And I disagreed with a lot of the things they said at the same time, but I was also able to get value out of it. So I'm not gonna diss anybody like that. I'm just saying that I'm not personally like a big fan or anything like that. James says, I'm a critical thinker, and I think for myself and for my own opinions. I resent when others say my opinions are wrong. there's truth versus lies. Yeah, yeah. There is a reality, right? So there are things that are reality. Like if you go to the edge of the building and you go over the edge, and it's 10-story or more building, there's a reality that's always going to be that case. You can't argue that, right? So if that is what it is, it's going to be what it is. It's always going to be what it is. There's nothing you can do about that. Like there's nothing that you can believe that's going to change that from being the situation that it is. That's a hard and fast reality. Now, yeah, so I know. Then there's opinions of things, and there's things that none of us fully know. There are a lot of things that none of us in this earth know fully. And so to pretend to do it, a lot of people will get ahead by pretending to know the things that nobody knows. So you have people who are convicted of the truth, of what they believe the truth is, because they're told about things from somebody who has put themselves in a position of knowing the things that none of us know, right? And that person then tends to be a cult leader. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just saying that's kind of how that works, right? So definitely a balance. Yeah, something that helps me get through anxiety is to remember that I'm not trying to be a people pleaser. Right. I have a video about that says you can't please everybody also on this channel. What was it called? Oh, shoot. I'll turn this thing back on. I actually made a video about that, Kendra. It's called, the video is called, You Can't Make Everyone Happy If You Want to Be the Real Deal. So I said, if you can't make everyone happy if you want to be the real deal. That's what I said. That was the title. Videos about that, what you're talking about. Scottsdale, Arizona, 360 per day. Yeah. Yeah. 18 hours, 360 per day on average, right? And so that's realistic. It's not hard to believe because the numbers add up. What's hard to believe for a lot of people is that a person could put themselves through that. But I've sat in the car. I talked about this earlier on the other live stream. I've sat in the car before as well when I was doing like 13-hour days on a regular basis and not live streaming. You can't do it live streaming because you can't take a nap live streaming. But like there's been times when I would sit in the car and like I'm waiting on an order and I'll just like sit back and I'm just like, I'll just like rest my eyes. The order comes in. I'm like, all right, let's go. Like that in between. And so there's probably a lot of that. James says you got to please yourself, believe in yourself. Yeah. Well, sometimes also you need to take care of others because that might be a responsibility that you have and that may weigh heavily on the things that you do and don't do in life as well. And there's nothing wrong with being responsible for other people's well-being as far as like your family and things like that. We're designed like that as a species that we're, I'm a father, right, to my kids, right? So I'm dad. Dad has the ability to go out and work every day, all day. Dad has the ability to create multiple streams of income. My youngest daughter doesn't do that. She's learning how to walk, right? She's getting the walking thing down. I've got to go do that. So somebody on my other channel asked me the other day, like, how do you keep getting up and going out and working every day and then live streaming every day and then running the YouTube channels and all that stuff? I'm like, well, I just look at my kids and then I go. Not that hard. It is natural. It's innate. It's built into us. Someone who discovered my channel over a decade told me today that they think I should get back to some people have little clues. My area near the burbs, a lot of non-tippers and low tips. There are a lot of people who don't speak English in Yosef's area. I got you. XOXO, what's up? Guess I'll probably just make you let's do this real quick. Okay. All right. Local reviewer is here. Hello, local reviewer. Thank you for stopping in. I appreciate that. You need to like yourself first. Well, yeah, I mean, you need to Um, you need to understand that you are who God made you. And once you understand that, everything else can click, because now you don't have to worry about being somebody else. All you have to do is just fulfill that role. And that's the way it's supposed to be, I think. Cringer says, my goal isn't even to please and believe in myself. And please God in my words and actions and how I live. Not even myself. That is where my focus is, right? And if you do everything like you're doing it, so my buddy Craig, who you guys know, who's the moderator in the other channel, one of the moderators in the other channel. Well, he reminded me of something the other day. But it was like, if you do everything like you're doing it for God, then, or like, God's watching, God's here with watching, and you're doing the thing that you're doing, then it's very impactful on how you live your life. And so even if you are sweeping floors at a restaurant, I used to sweep floors at a place that built countertops, and I did a really good job at that, but also I ended up getting so good at it that I could finish half the way through the day. And I began to, because they kept telling me that I needed to come over and learn how to build the countertops, because they were like, dude, you should do this, like you can do this, like, so you should. And I was like, all right, yeah, dude, I'll do that. I got to figure out how to do my other stuff faster so that I can have half a day so that I can come over and, like, you guys could teach me all this. And I did. I did exactly that. And I got to learn a whole new skill. And then guess what? After not long, I was finding somebody else to come and sweep the floor. So, and it wasn't just sweep the floor, it was like fix the tools and do all the other stuff. But to do all that, I found somebody else to do that. And I went and began a different position to building countertops, which I really enjoyed. So I know everything. Hello all. Hey Amy, what's up, Amy? How's it going? HB says hi. Everybody's saying hi. If everyone likes you, something is wrong. Exactly. Yeah, everyone likes you, really, because in order to be liked by all, you got to be doing what everybody else likes. Yep. And if you do that, you don't have a backbone. Oh, there's Craig. There's Craig. I was just talking about you. Hello, been there since the beginning, but was out shoveling. Oh, okay. Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, I was telling them about the thing that we were talking about the other day. Like, I think yesterday you sent me, and we were talking about that. If you just do things like basically for the glory of God, then you'll do everything the best you can, and it's gonna show. And then ultimately, what'll happen is, guys, like I said, when I was sweeping the floor, I was doing a really, really good job so that I could get it done quick, so that I could go learn the next thing. And ultimately, what happens, I end up moving kind of up in position to a point where I'm involved in building countertops and like carpentry work, which is a trade, right? So I'm learning a trade now because I was doing the other job so well. They were like, you don't need to be doing that job. You need to be doing this job. And they were right. But, if I'd have gone in there like, oh, I gotta go work today, man, like, I don't want to do this. Like, just kind of dragging my feet. Nobody would have been like, hey, dude, you need to come over here with us. Nobody would have ever said that. Now I have a trade that I can fall back on for the rest of my life. I need to get tools and stuff, but you get what I'm saying. Used to be afraid of people not liking me. Life saw a lot of that. Yeah. Almost welcome people not liking me. Yeah. I'm same here, dude. Same here. Like, that's how it is, Sometimes I say it like, well, we're just weeding them out. We're just weeding them out. Because sometimes I'll say something, I notice like the thing will go down, like the numbers will go down, and I'm like, well, I guess we're just weeding those people out, and that's okay. They just don't want to be here, and that's fine. There's a place for everybody to be, and it might not be here, and that's okay. It's all good. Doesn't offend me any. Doesn't bother me much. When you're gone is conscious, not so much religion. It's been taught. He doesn't know I'm here. I didn't know you were here. I was behind on the chat, but I mentioned you. That was an honorable mention. So how did you get into this YouTube, and what made you get into it? Well, so I was driving every day, working like I do on the other channel, but without live streaming. And I just got a different position in my life. Like, I was just a different place, and I was kind of rebuilding in my 30s. I had a wild 20s. My 20s was wild. We're not going to talk about a lot of that right now, but maybe later. Yeah, in my 30s, whatever, I started having these my younger set of children and everything kind of changed. My life changed, and they can do that. They can, children can do that. You know what I mean? You have to become, because you're responsible. Like I was saying earlier, my daughter who's learning how to walk is not gonna. She can't pay the bills. She can't go work. So I've got to do that, right? So I'm out doing that, but I drive every day because I have an adventurous, personality or whatever, and I'm seeing these sunsets like the one that's happening behind me now. I see them every day, and they're beautiful. And I started feeling like I should probably, um, share that with people because that would be really cool to do. And I was like, I'm gonna start like filming that or whatever. So I put a dash cam in my car, and then I started like I was working overnights, and then there was like some interesting buildings that I was seeing because, I was telling you guys the other day, if you want to explore a city, one of the best times, not the safest time, but one of the quickest times to explore the city is 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning on a weekday because there's nobody out. So you can drive through the whole city and you can map it out in your head. You'll know where all the interesting buildings are. And I was seeing that. And I have an interest in abandoned buildings and things like that and architecture and stuff. So I was like, seeing places, and I would go and start exploring some places, and I was like, man, I'd like to share this too. So I started filming that, and then I started adding a little music here and there, and I was like, man, this is creative. This is a fun creative outlet. So that's what I was doing. And then I was like, man, I'd like to show them the Civic, because I have my little Honda Civic, my little 93 Civic. And so I did a video on that. A lot of people appreciated that. So, for a while I didn't put my face on the camera, but I mean, eventually once I did, I broke that ice there. It was no problem to do it again. And then, for whatever reason, some people started hanging out and wanting to hang out in my videos, and watch my stuff. So yeah, then I just started filming everything. So I was going to like the racetrack with my buddy, helping him with the car. I was like, man, I'm going to film the drifting. I'm going to learn how to do this. So I learned how to do that, and I would edit these long videos of like 4K videos of like the drift cars and drift sequences and stuff, and I add a little bit of music here and there and try to make it seem cool. And it just one thing led to another. That's it. That's it. Um, any pointers? Wait, hold on. Amy says I'm Catholic. All are welcome here, as far as I can tell. Yeah. I mean, everybody's welcome. You don't have to agree with me. Consciousness, awareness, emotions. Okay. Used to sell worms to fishermen. That's a good trade. Good to see everybody. Craig says, been listening. Great talk. Chev. HB says that makes the most sense. Craig says, I've always believed in doing more than what's expected. Yeah, that's how you expand. Expansion and growth comes from doing more than what you expected. If you ask a bodybuilder or somebody that, does that kind of thing, can I get gains by getting to a point where I lift, say, 20-pound dumbbells, doing a certain exercise, right? And can I get gains by just continuing to do the same number of sets and reps? So the same number of reps and sets of those reps with that same weight over and over and over again every day for the rest of my life, or every session for the rest of my life? Can I get gains by doing that? They're going to say, no, you've got to step out of your comfort zone. You either need to increase the intensity, so you need to increase the weight, or you need to increase the time under tension, or so you can increase the reps. You're going to have to increase something. So you're going to have to step out of that same place if you want the growth. If you want to have gains, if you want to grow into something different, you're going to have to step out of that same thing every day. Now, you can maintain probably with that. And some people sometimes we want to maintain some things. Sometimes we want to make gains in some things, and that's okay. But you got to figure out what your goal is and what you're trying to do. And if your goal is to expand and grow into, then you need to step out. You can't just do the bare minimum. You have to do, like Craig says, more than what's expected. This is on YouTube. This is on your job. This is on your life with your family, everything. You know what I mean? You can't expect the same results by doing the same thing over again. And this is another reason, Yosef, why I was starting these channels, because it was just a new thing for me. I never posted on my Facebook. I never had an Instagram. I had never posted on YouTube. I wasn't into TikTok. I never have it. I still don't have it. It was a new thing. And so I got a lot of growth out of starting this new thing that I didn't know anything about. and having to learn all this new stuff, and then meeting all these new people online. It's not exactly meeting, but it's kind of something. It's a different thing, right? And so that's another thing. It was a growth point for me. Any pointers on starting your channel? I posted, but not many views. I guess I need to start posting again. Yeah, be consistent. Be consistent, and be I guess have a mission on or a focus, but also just be consistent, be you, and I think people will come. And don't have a scarcity outlook on it, because remember, there are millions of people, like hundreds of millions of people in just America alone, and then elsewhere, there's even more. So there's so many people. There's no scarcity of people to watch your videos. You just got to do your thing, and the algorithm will work that out and find your people eventually if you're consistent. I believe it will. I'm talking about disliking me in real life. Never had a YouTube channel. Oh yeah, I know. YouTube dislikes may be similar, but not as brutal. Nah, yeah, YouTube dislikes don't really matter much, especially now that they don't show them. I actually wish they did. I kind of miss that when they showed the dislikes. I thought that was good. They got rid of that because they started putting out news. These news channels started coming out on YouTube because they weren't making revenue on TV. I don't know. Okay, I don't know exactly why they get rid of the dislikes. This is my theory. So your local news and everything, all these news channels started coming out on YouTube because I don't think they were making the revenue on TV anymore because the revenue's on YouTube, right? So they were like, well, we got to make a YouTube channel. That was happening in mass around that time. I mean, everybody's getting on YouTube, and they were like, well, we can't have all these dislikes on our story because they're calling us out for BS. And so you look at a lot of news channels don't even have the comments on. And the ones that do, people are like, why are you lying? Like, it's great, actually. So I'm hoping that they keep the comments on. I mean, I would love to have the dislikes back, but at the same time, I'm thankful we have the comments still. Because for me, if we didn't have the comments and we didn't have the chat, I don't know that I would even be interested in doing this type of YouTube. Let's see. Can we discuss how you got good at selling stuff, maybe in a video? I mean, yeah, we can talk about thrifting. I talk about it all the time. I sprinkle it in with my DoorDash videos because we got 10 hours, some days, and I sprinkle a lot of this in over there anyway. Good time to make money and reflect. Mood lighting. Yeah, I have mood lighting behind me, dude. That's YouTube stuff right there, dude. I just think it's cool. Do you like the lighting, guys? That's what I was wondering about the green as well. Yeah. Yeah, I just have these LEDs, and I thought it'd be kind of funny. Let's see. I'm old and love watching youngsters do their stuff and hope to proper some advice. Cool. The green is the best. Yeah, I have green and like a kind of a purple pink thing going on. I think it's a good combo. It's like the Joker combination or something. I don't know. I could switch it up. I just thought that was good. They'd go good together. Green's cool though. I like green lights. I taught bodybuilding all day. I used to be good at it. Cool. Nice. 70s stuff and 80s. Seven Figure says, always create a vision map. You have to have a method to track your progress, otherwise you don't know if you're off track. That's good advice. Also find similar channels and learn from them. You can get great ideas, says Craig. Yes, that's true. Yeah, you can, yes, exactly. You could look at, see what other people are doing. You could see, all right, so I'll say something. So like on the video, now my driving daily is all over the place, okay? I kind of like that. I put that together not knowing what I was doing. And it's just by the grace of God that it's gotten to the point where it has. And effort, of course. But some of the videos that do really well for me, that earn for me every day, are videos where I've fixed a car or something, right? And so if I was gonna make those videos, I would usually make the video either if it doesn't exist, or say it exists, but it's a 5-minute video and I think I can make it into 3 minutes. and I can make it more clear and more concise, then I'm doing something. So now I'm saying, like, providing somebody a more, or maybe something that, like, with the repair that the other person did not show, right? And I'm like, dang, I wish they'd have showed that. Like, what? That's pretty important for them to show that, like, that bolt, where it's at, the location of it, whatever. So on videos that I've taken that into consideration and I've tried to make the more valuable video, those have done well, and they still, those repair videos, they earn every day, like pennies, little pennies every day, because people are always looking to fix their cars and stuff. So you can do that. You can also speed watch them to consume the content twice as fast. Seven Figure, I do that too, especially if it's a talking head video. That I have friends that do talking head videos, and they have very good, like, information, but I don't have time to watch all of them. Sometimes I'll watch on 1.5 or 2, right? Their retention will still be at 100, and I'll get the whole video. And as you know, you guys know, I'm live streaming like most of the day sometimes. This is how I do it as well. You know, you have to make the most out of your time. So that's a good point, Seven Figure. I remember when dislikes disappeared. Oh, come on now. No thumbs down. I know. I want the dislikes to come back. One of my must-have browser extensions. Yeah, you can see it. Like, if you do the right things, you can see it. Dashing with Yosef says this was during the COVID. That's when YouTube got rid of the dislikes. Yeah, because they had all the yeah, and that's because they had the news stations talking about stuff, and they knew people were going to call them out for their BS, and they were going to have massive dislikes. They were, anytime they do that, they're about to, like, roll out a misinformation campaign, right? And they don't want people to call it out. So that you'll notice that those news stations, a lot of them didn't have comments in there, and they got rid of the dislikes because they were rolling out a massive disinformation campaign. Let's see. I can take a thumbs down. I will live. It's like the Hulk back there. Yeah. I think it's cool. I mean, if you guys think it's cool, like, I don't know. These things, you can change the colors and everything. I just thought it'd be fun to do something different. I don't know, Amy. I don't know if I can or not, and I'm not gonna probably push that, but Craig says I speed watch when I'm searching for something like a raccoon impersonation. Still haven't found it. Good luck. I need to put, oh man, remind me to monetize that video heavily. I'm gonna put all the mid-rolls on that. I gotta remember which one it is, dude. I'm gonna find that one. You know what day it was, Craig? I'm gonna put like 100 mid-rolls in that one. He's gonna be going from ad to ad to ad to ad, looking at it. I'm gonna be getting rich. No, I'm just playing. Richie from Boston, a call for an uprising, monograph, smart enough to work around all the algorithms. I think I know some of the people you're talking about, Amy. And yeah, but they did kick Richie from Boston off, I think. He has another channel called Jailbreak Overlander. But the lights are cool. Nice. I thought it was cool. Let's see. Where did you get the lights from? Oh, they're just a little LED. Probably when I was selling stuff on eBay, I think I found them on sale or something. I let the kids play with them, but they have other lights now too, so they're just extra stuff. And then I have the light that's up here is a ring light that I got for $2. I think it still says $1.99 on it. I gotta, like, wipe that off. I got it at a thrift store, and I was like, dude, I do YouTube. I could use a ring light. So that's the lighting in the front is coming from that, from a $2 light. So yeah, you could do a lot of stuff on a budget. That's the one thing about YouTube is in a lot of things, really. Even working on cars and stuff. Yeah, sometimes you have to buy the high dollar items. But you can do a lot with low dollar items. You can do a lot with thrifted items. Like, you can make the most of what you have. I monetized my other channel with just a cell phone. Like, I think I used a Chromebook on the back end sometimes to get in the studio, but like on desktop, but that's like a $50 Chromebook. You know what I mean? But yeah, basically just a cell phone. Monetized the channel. I didn't have any special equipment. I used a free app to edit the videos. You know what I mean? Have to uninstall the app and reinstall it every now and then so you get the free 100 video. I mean, really, like I'm just doing. You can do a lot if the content is driven and legitimate and good. You don't need big money to make it happen. You know, we're all doing stuff right now. This right here is like twice the quality of a 1990 news broadcast. You know what I mean? And it's just me sitting in my van. I have my microphone sitting on the desk right here that I made. You know what I'm saying? Like it's in a $2 ring light and then a phone. It's it. I got some mood lighting. All right. So it's very interesting time being censored. Yeah. The Phoenix Enigma. They also kicked off of YouTube. I don't know if I ever saw that one. I know all the other ones. I know who all the other ones you. I've been watching YouTube for a long time, Amy, so I know all the people that you're talking about. But I don't know about Phoenix Enigma. But anyway, I know a lot of people did get censored back then. I do everything from my phone, free editing app, record everything on the phone. Yeah. Quality could be better, but I'm sure of it. But you know, it can't be but so much. You can't get but so much better than 4K. You know what I mean? I know this isn't because it's live, but like if this was a video, it would look pretty dang good, to be honest with you. Like you really can't get but so good. Yeah, I could move the mic over here closer, put it on my shirt, and the voice would probably sound a little better, right? If I'm doing a video, I can make it look and sound pretty good. It's a budget microphone. You know, everything is it's budget everything. What's the app called to use to edit your videos? Can you do video? Wait, can you do video how you edit on a budget like me? I use something called VN Editor. I don't even know. I haven't heard anybody else use it. It's just one that I pulled up and it was free. I installed it. It was the first one I ever used, and that's what I've been using. Honestly, a lot of my videos anymore, I don't edit much. Like videos on this channel have, like the microphone died or something happened and I had to like finish the last couple minutes off. But all of the videos on this channel are just one hit, like one take, like hit the play button, talk, hit the stop button, upload. You know what I mean? So it depends on the type of content. Like over here, we don't need that production value because we're talking about things like real thoughts. So real thoughts don't require production value. They just require somebody that, is willing to go there. It's better than 2000s newscast. HD didn't come around till then. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the TVs wouldn't even be capable of showing as good as what this is. Or at least what if this was a video? You know what I mean? I know it doesn't look good because it's a live stream, but Doug Hagman's kicked off YouTube. His favorite investigator. Cranky and love him. Been listening to Doug Hagman. Okay. Yeah, a lot of people did get kicked off of YouTube. It's very interesting. And be right back. Gotta get dinner in the oven. Nice. What's for dinner, Kendra? Let's see how long we've been live. We've been live for an hour and 18 minutes. Yeah, so I'm doing, I'll probably do more. You guys interested in this stuff? You guys interested? Let me look through my other videos real quick on this channel just to see what we're talking about, because this is kind of one of the things we do is we go back on the live stream. I've only done one live stream, but one of the things I was thinking about, quick, topics for live streams would be to go back and talk about the videos that I've already done and go more in depth and actually have conversation about it. Because these things go deep. Owen Benjamin here and there. I'm a fan, personally. Yeah. Thank you for taking the time to talk with us. Yeah, no worries, man. No worries. And this gives us the time to get away from the specifically just the DoorDash stuff and stuff that I do over there. I know it's not only DoorDash over there either. But this allows us to really talk about and crystallize some of the things that we probably sprinkle in during the day over there, because I'm me. I can't be anybody but me. So even when I'm out door dashing, we're going to probably talk about this stuff a little bit, but not everybody that watches my DoorDash videos is going to want to go there with me here. You know what I mean? But some of you will. So I appreciate you guys that are here. And always remember, no matter what we talk about over here, you don't have to agree with me. And I also respectfully, if everybody's respectful, I know all of you are, as long as everybody's respectful, we can have a conversation even about hard things. And I would like to demonstrate that, as much as I can, Now, I'm not going to go too in depth, some of the stuff's in the news lately, man. Goodness gracious, man. I'll talk about it, but, at the same time, people get so polarized. My message is that part of the problem is that people are so extremely polarized by these things and can't just look at the whole, like, there could be two things that true at once. There can be two things true at once should be another video that I do on here, because more than one thing can be, more than two can be true at once. And so, just because something bad happens over here doesn't mean that something isn't still true over here, and doesn't mean that this is also could use some attention. You know what I'm saying? So, the news, or like a side, if you're on the sides, then you would use anything you could to make your side look right, even if it was at the detriment of the actual truth, which is usually a bit more, it's not exactly maybe as cut and dried as people want to make it, to package it up for you. So people will package up what they want you to believe, and it has to be that way, and if not, then, you're wrong, and you're an extremist, and all of this stuff. So, yeah, there's a different way. There's another way of looking at it. I think it's a good idea for live streams because your videos are awesome and you make great chat with your audience. Yeah, that's what I kind of think. I did a video called "The Matrix is a PSYOP," and what I meant by that was the Matrix. People talk about escaping the Matrix, or the Matrix as the system, things like that. And when I say it's a PSYOP, why do I say it's a PSYOP? Because people will use that as their, thing, like, get out of the 9 to 5, get out of this, that, and the other, get out of this, that, and the other. But it's like, sometimes people go so far, and you're like, well, we're completely living in a simulation, and nothing is real. Now, while I believe we live in a construction, because I believe God created all of this, so this is a construction, doesn't mean that the things that you do in your life don't have an impact on true reality, like, if you want to call that, like, the basic reality that exists. So I believe there's a basic reality that exists, and I think we can go off from that, and we can, explore. But at the same time, it's not like, I'm not just going to use my mind and then, like, I just, like, right now, and then I have $1 million. That's why I'm not into, like, the manifestation stuff necessarily, not as, like, the Neville Goddard stuff that people get really involved in. I'm not really into that because I think that could be problematic. But I will talk about having a positive attitude. I'll talk about being grateful. I'll talk about not having scarcity in your mindset, because those things are actually real, because they can mechanically affect the way that you conduct yourself on a day-to-day basis, And so if you believe that, like I said, scarcity, if you believe, well, nobody will ever watch my YouTube videos, well, that's a problem, because look, like I said, there's between 350 to 400 million people in the United States alone. It's a lot of people. There's plenty of people to watch your YouTube video. Of course you can get views on your YouTube video. There's plenty of people out there. You have to just worry about the providing it. And the algorithm's actually pretty good at connecting people up, unless you get shadow banned, and that's another thing. That's another thing. Sometimes I talk about certain things, and I kind of wonder, I'm like, why did that only get, like, 100 views? Like, I wonder what's going on with that. Is it what I said? I don't know. Is it something that I wasn't supposed to say? Like, and then it just kind of got, like, you look at the impressions and you see that it didn't get the impressions that you normally get. And you're like, what's going on with that? There's theories about that, but yeah, Matrix is a PSYOP. That's kind of something that I, talked about. Definitely suggest you guys watch that video. You can't make everybody happy. We talked about that. That was a video there. New Year's resolution is not enough. Talked about that. You got to have a mission. You got to have a why. You got to know why it is that you're doing it. I talk about it on my other channel. Why do people DoorDash? I have a lot of DoorDashers over there, and it's like, I'm like, why do we do this? Is it because you want to work for these algorithmic apps? I don't think so. I think it's because we want freedom. I think it's because some of us will achieve more if we are left to achieve that. rather than given the standard 8-hour day. I believe that a lot of people, I like to drive personally, so I like to not be necessarily in the one once, and I like to explore. So all of that is combined in all of the things that I do: YouTube, DoorDash, eBay, and so on and so forth. And so I think the same thing is probably true for other people. I'm probably not the only one out there that has a mindset that sees beyond and doesn't want to just be stuck in the office all day. Um, so, uh, so let's see. So we'll talk about 1984, A Brave New World, where he's close to what is happening with ICE. I don't know. If Trump brings the army, they won't ever leave, like the Patriot Act in 2001. Reread Brave New World, yeah. It's at 1984 every now and then. Are you like the Amy, like Brave New World? Okay, you guys are talking about the books. Yeah, I gotta ask John something. Okay, just finished a $51.48 dash. My man OG Sean White still out there hustling. How's the snow? There's value in putting your thoughts into to assist in manifestation. If you don't share the thoughts with others, they don't know, and manifestation takes longer. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. There's things that there's things that I believe are probably true out of a lot of those systems, because I think they pull from things that are true. I think that like you can't rely on those systems, you know. But mindset is everything. And yes, so I even created a little on Amazon KDP. I published it. This little like note. It's a notepad. It has a space above and below where you can do drawings, and it has lines where you can write. And the reason I created that notepad, and it's called the Little Book of Great Ideas, and it has nothing in it, but you have to put the great ideas in it. But the reason I created that was because, well, first to experiment with Amazon KDP, buff my ideas, because it's very important to me. It's very important to write those ideas down, and it kind of makes them an entity. It makes them real. It makes them a thing. And at that point, you can just waiting to see if it's going to stop buffering. I'm actually on the house Wi-Fi right now. But anyway, at that point, you can then act on those ideas. It kind of brings it into reality in a way. And it's like you're actually making something, and you are making something because your thoughts, we are creative individuals. We are creative individuals. We're designed like that to do things. So there's nothing wrong with having that mindset. John, I would never explore my whole state if I never DoorDashed. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it lets you see not only all the restaurants, but the back alleys and the neighborhoods and the apartments, and it gives you an intimate knowledge of your area. That's why I've dashed every area around me. I've dashed in Cary. I've dashed in South Raleigh. I've dashed, the downtown. I've dashed in North Raleigh. I've dashed in Wake Forest. I've dashed in Butner Creedmoor. I've dashed in Oxford Henderson. I've dashed in the Garner area. I've dashed in the I didn't have to dash in the Durham area. I worked there for 7 years, but I've dashed pretty much or driven and worked in almost every area around, like everywhere near me, because that has allowed me to. I'm pretty knowledgeable about the map. It's good to know what's there for a lot of reasons. So I agree, John. Memphis is stolen from Proverbs as Psalms because God wants us to be grateful as obedient to work. And that's the Torah, first 5 books. Manifestation is tech like from the devil because we become prideful like we did it. Yeah, so that an issue. So yeah, I would say that it doesn't mean there aren't things that, like, the mindset is very important, okay? Writing things down to get things going is very important. No doubt about that. On a mechanical level, that works. And I call it mechanical because I believe that's just how our mind works and everything. So God made us. But yeah, there's no doubt about it, in my mind, that a lot of it has to do with God's blessings as well. But a lot of it is we are responsible to be who we need to be. So we're responsible to go ahead and to write those things down, to go ahead and think about how am I gonna solve this problem? How am I gonna, yeah, okay, what should I do with this video? Whatever. course, pray about it. But yeah, definitely to do better, like Craig said, to do more than what's expected at any given situation, and that way so that we can expand. Um, is other local dashers, etc., sort of like a brotherhood, or do you feel like competitors? No, I mean, I don't know, man. I talk with the other dashers. We get along. You know, I don't have a problem with other dashers, dude. They're just trying to make a living too. Yeah. Yeah, I don't look at that like that. I don't look at YouTube like that. You know, I know that some YouTubers I think do. They say, oh, this person's popularity is gonna outweigh my popularity, and I don't really look at it like that. I don't look at it like market share or anything like that. Like I said, my mindset is there's upwards of 400 million people in the country here just alone, and then YouTube is worldwide. There's a lot of viewers for everybody, man. Just because somebody has 60, 80, 100, 200, 300 viewers, whatever, watching their shows, there's a lot. There's a lot out there. So I don't feel like there's there's 9 billion people. I don't feel like there's an availability issue with like eyeballs to watch your channel, and I don't think any one person is ever going to like be the reason that my channel doesn't succeed. I just don't look at it that way. And I don't look at it like that in Dash either, like door dashing. I don't look at it like oh man, because these dashers are over here, that's why I don't get. Now I know the market does get saturated. I think that if you have an influx of like hundreds and hundreds of people coming from another country, for example, that fraudulently take the accounts and use those, and a lot of that, there's issues there. But I don't look at it as a scarcity thing or look at other people trying to make a living like they're threatening me or anything like that. I've never looked at it like that. I'd always look at it like, hey, look, what's up? And I have the conversation with them a lot of time with other dashers. How's it going? Are you busy tonight? And then we'll start talking. Sometimes we'll show each other some of the stuff in the app. And sometimes I'll help them out. Sometimes they help me out. I mean, I've learned a lot from other dashers, and other dashers have learned a lot from me. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I'd have to be lying to say they probably haven't, because I try to help people out. So I've talked to a lot of people out there on the road, and do not spend your life comparing yourself to others. A glorious waste of time. Speaking of real life, not YouTube. Well, Amy, all that stuff applies to YouTube too. The stuff you're talking about, it applies, because there's people that are petty on YouTube and they see somebody's success and they're like, well, I'm threatened by that. And it's like, well, you shouldn't be. Just like you shouldn't be threatened by somebody's success in real life. In fact, when I see somebody's success, I say, this unlocks a potential of possibility that I didn't know existed. I say, look, somebody's doing this. Certainly I could do at least half that. And so that's the way I look at it. Right? So yeah, it happens a lot, like here in PA, oversaturated people from different countries. Yeah. And I think that the apps are starting to cut back on that, because those people don't have paperwork. They literally they can't actually sign up for these apps legally. So I think they do it in other forms, like renting people's accounts and things like that. And I think the apps, the companies may be cracking down on that. Maybe. I hope they are. That is an issue. And I will say that is an issue. That's not me coming from like a place of, jealousy or scarcity. That's just like me looking at my other fellow American dashers and realizing like, okay, we're kind of getting bypassed here. Like, there is an issue there. You know what I mean? But I still believe that there is enough, there's enough out there for anybody who's willing to go get it. I believe that. OG Sean White is up to 208 on the day. My man. He's out there hustling, dude. He's having a good day. I wish I was out there hustling. Yeah, I don't. You know what? Here's the thing. I do wish I was out there hustling, but at the same time, I'm glad to be here with you guys. And that's me making the most. I'm going to plug this laptop in and see if it'll actually stay going. That's me making the most out of, see how much it pulls. 32, 24, 13. Oh yeah, I could run this laptop all day on this battery. Nice. I got the little battery. Plug the laptop in. that's me just making the most out of the situation. You know, we had the snow and ice, thing got shut down. I'm not going out tonight. I'm gonna, but I'm live streaming and I'm making the most out of it because I have this other YouTube channel, this other fire that I can kind of stoke or whatever and keep it going. Here with us and 2 feet from your fam doesn't get better than that. Yeah, exactly, dude. I get to work and I'm not making any money on this one, because this live stream isn't, I don't have this channel not monetized. But between the other channel and this, I've been able to work at home for the last couple of days. I didn't make as much as I would like to make in a day, but you guys have helped me sustain the last couple of days, and I'm making the most of it. And so this is why I'm showing up, because I made enough on the other live stream today to say, hey, look, I could survive. I'm gonna show up on the other stream, and I've also been able to hang out early this morning with my kids. I'm gonna hang out with my kids after I get off the live stream, and I was hanging out with my daughter a little bit in between live streams while I was having a little snack and recharging. We were chopping it up, so it can't get better than that. You're right. Absolutely. EDE1 8193. I always get the numbers wrong. What's up, EDE? How's it going? Welcome into the house here with us. We are just doing some hanging out. We're talking about some of the different videos that I've done on this channel, and we're trying to build this channel up a little bit. So hope you're doing well. You're right about putting your own I don't know. I don't know if I read that right or what. But yeah. So I'm thankful for YouTube, because it's a thing, and I talk about the algorithms and I talk about the social media mind control stuff and whatever, and it's all real, but I am thankful that it exists. It's helping me, it's helping me live my life, do the things that I do with my unique set of skills that, probably wouldn't apply as good if I was a McDonald's manager. You know what I mean? I could probably apply my unique set of skills there too, but you get what I'm saying. Doing good things. Nice. So, yeah, so we make the most out of what we have. So this is I could say, well, I'm stuck at home. I can't make any money. I can't do anything. It's like, well, dude, I got to get on this morning. You guys were gracious. A lot of people were gracious enough to hook it up, to fund the operation. So that allows me to get on here and continue the expand it into these new territories myself. Like I'm doing the risk, doing the same thing I did building up my first channel, working for 2 years for free. You got to be willing to work for free, right? NY Gallows in the house. What's up? Beep, beep. She didn't say beep, beep, but I know she wants to. Let's see. You're right about rich people. Some of them put that over their kids or family and God. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. And so look, hey, Dashing Justice. Some poor people do it too. Dude. I've seen poor people just as money hungry as rich people. And I've seen rich people more generous than some poor people. But I've seen both on both ends. So, when I was in nursing school, a fellow student worked at McDonald's. Do what you got to do. Oh yeah, absolutely. Look, I've worked at a lot of pizza shops. I've worked at a lot of, I've done a lot of work at different places. Like, so I totally understand. I don't blame anybody from working at McDonald's. I'm just simply saying, I can reach more people making videos on YouTube than I can working at McDonald's. You know what I mean? It wouldn't have been as beneficial for me to have a YouTube channel for those people 10 years ago. Because there's a lot of lessons that I learned between then and now. It's probably better that I have the channel now than if I had the channel then. You know what I mean? And if I'm still alive in 10 years, I would hope that I have more to offer than I do now. You get what I'm saying? So, anyway, I do beep, beep, eating salmon. Nice. We should, be able to send super chats on channels that aren't monetized yet. So dumb. Yeah, I know. But I'll get us there. So the goal with this, I guess I need, what do I need for that? 500 subscribers and 3,000 watch hours. So if I start live streaming maybe 2 or 3 times a day, or not 2 or 3 times a day, what the crap am I talking about? If I start live streaming 2 or 3 times a week, we'll probably get there eventually. You know what I mean? We'll get there with this channel. I'm not in a big hurry. For now, driving daily is helping me pay the bills. And so I'm thankful for that. And it's actually allowing me to expand to be able to build this. So I'm thankful for that too. So I have no worries. I have friends that have channels that are not monetized, and I do wish I could send them super chats because it would be awesome. You know what I mean? I'd love to be able to hook them up. But yeah, it's just the dang rules, man, I guess. You know what I'm saying? But you need 3,000 watch hours, I think, to get in that first category of like monetization. So we'll get there. You guys are helping me build this thing, and I hope that it reaches and helps people. Like I hope the messages help people. I hope they're good. I hope they're thought provoking. And like I said, not everybody's gonna like it. I've had haters from things that I've said on this channel. I think I've had people leave both channels, you know what I mean? And it is what it is. But once again, like I was saying before, I have a video called Love Your Haters. I think it's called Love Your Haters. I don't know. Where did I put that out? Dang, was that a while ago or something? Um, where's that? Oh yeah, it's called Love Your Haters on this channel. So that will explain a lot. I'll run your channel in full, but okay. Appreciate that, Kendra. Appreciate that. Yeah, I need to get on your gaming channel too. So we need to figure that out. Amy says, been around, very rich, and the not so blessed. A level of contentment has nothing to do about money. Exactly. That's what I'm saying, dude. I've heard people kind of trash rich people, and I've heard rich people trash poor people. But I've also heard good points from both sides as well. I've heard, like sometimes a rich person might be like, well, you have the responsibility to try to do well so that you could take care of your family and others, right? And I've seen them take care of others, so they exemplify what they say. They're not just saying that to BS to have an excuse to be rich. They're actually doing it. And then I've seen, like I said, I've seen poor people be so greedy as to like break into houses and stuff. You know what I mean? That's greed. You can't say that's not. And a lot of people get mad at politicians and stuff for it's not right what they do. Of course they let their friends off, out of prison and stuff like that. But I know poor people that would do the same thing if they could. You know what I mean? Like if they could, they would do it too. They're just mad that they can't, so they're gonna get mad at the person who does, who has that power, who's also abusing it the way they would if they had the chance. You get what I'm saying? So it's like you got to understand we're all humans, and we all have these same temptations, and we all have the same kind of things that can happen along the way that can derail, I guess, our morals and stuff. And that's why it's good to have a compass, a good moral compass. Let's see. What do you think? What's going on with the government? Well, that's a whole different conversation. I don't like either parties. I'll go here with that. I don't like either parties. Um, I think certain organizations are screwing up in certain ways, but it doesn't mean they shouldn't exist. Um, and I think that there are people who are willing to prey on people's emotions on both ends of the spectrum of political alignment, to get them. Basically, they're just making money on them, on people, like believing this, hating this thing, hating that thing, supporting this thing. And I've just seen it enough to where I think a lot of it is just siphoning energy and money off of people. The news stories do the same thing. They want you watching them, watching the news story. They get paid for that. They get paid by the ads that are placed on those news stories, the eyeballs, just like YouTube. It's money. Um, so they could just as well be like, everybody calm down, everybody relax. This incident happened, this person made a mistake, and this person made a mistake. It looks bad. It's being taken care of. Like, fanning the flames is not going to make that situation any better. This person lost their life or whatever. Fanning the flames is not going to make it better, dude. It's not going to make it better. It's going to make it worse. It's going to cause more incidences. And I think the news doesn't take that responsibility into consideration that they have, because they have all those eyeballs. What they do is they just make people mad about it on both sides. They want people to fight, but but that's because they know that the negativity sells and they make money on that. So a lot of people, a lot of it's just like the algorithm, even the mind control algorithm stuff. It's not necessarily just straight mind control. It's that people they can make more money targeting people by putting them into bubbles and categories where they can then target them heavy with ads and all this and make more money. It just makes more sense. So a lot of it is multiple things can be true at once. You know what I mean? Money stopped impressing me a long time ago. Yeah, money's money. It's just a tool. Can you go over some of the books that changed your life? Like live stream on this? Yeah, I'll do that in the future. We'll look at some of the books that changed my life, or that changed my life. I will say that because some books have changed the course of the way I thought, and the way I thought then changed my direction, and changed the course of my life. Yeah, we'll talk about some of the books. Do you ever think about live streaming with someone either on your channel or someone else already have a good controversial theme we could stream about? Okay, possibly. Are you talking about yourself, Kendra? If no haters, you have never had an opinion. That's true. What do you think holds people back, like, and you being rich in your 30s? I also had similar jobs like you. I don't know, man. A lot of it's like for me in my 20s, I spent money and I went and had a good time. If I'd have saved my money and invested it, I'd probably be what they call rich right now. You know what I mean? For the first time in American history, more people identify with independence than one of the political parties. Yeah, if you look me up, I'm an independent. Like, I'm not a Republican or a Democrat. If you like look up my voting record, I might vote more Republican. You know what I mean? But I'm not a Republican because I can't identify with them because I don't like the parties. Because at the root of them, they're, I think, both corrupt. That's just me. I don't believe any of them, what they say. Even if they say they believe what I believe, I don't even know if they really believe that. They might just be saying that to get a vote. And so I see that for what it is. I think one of the things that holds a person back is the person themselves. Yeah, I agree with that, Kendra. That's true. You are your worst enemy or your best friend. Yeah, a good old divide and conquer tactic. Exactly, Kyle. Divide and conquer. No doubt. When I was growing up, it didn't matter what your political affiliation was. There was a lot of, we could all hang out, we could all talk about things, we could all discuss things. You know, you could discuss things that right now people will start punching you over, and maybe even worse, right? But you could discuss these things, and you could agree that, hey, we're all Americans, right? And this is our country, and we want what's best for our country and all this. And even if we were being misled by our leadership at the time, which I think we always have been. I think it's the nature of government, right? To mislead people a little bit. So that, listen, so at the very top of government, there's some people that probably believe that what they're doing is for a good reason because they know better. They're probably thinking, we know better, so we're the ones that have got to, make sure that these people do this, that, or the other, because that's what's best for them. Just like I say, like, to my dog, hey, let's go out. You got to use the bathroom. Here, it's time to eat. Here's your food. They look at us, but not like I look at my dog because I love my dog. I don't think they love us, but you get what I'm saying. They think they know what's better and that they must do these things. So they probably, in some way, genuinely believe they're BS. At the same time, there's a lot of greed and there's a lot of corruption, there's deals that go on. You got lobbyists, you know what I mean? All of this stuff. You get beholden. If somebody helps you get into a position, now you're beholden to that person. This is why I would never go into politics. I mean, people have asked me, would you run for any offices? And I'm like, well, I don't think so, because I think that what happens is you get in a position and anybody, you accept help from anybody, they hold it over you. When I help out another YouTube channel, I mean, I joke about Driving Daily being a mafia or whatever, but when we help somebody out, when we go raid a YouTube channel with like 100 people or something, I don't expect anything back from them. I'm not doing that to control, like, oh yeah, well, look what I did for you. I just do, it's fun to do. It's like fun because it's like you can help somebody succeed. That's like, it's an FU to the big system, really. It's like, look, we're going to take care of our own. We're going to take care of other people that are in similar situations to us. So, but with politics, what they do is if they help you get to a certain point, they're like, remember what I did for you? Remember what I did for you? You got to do this. You got to vote this. You got to do this. So I don't know, if any of them are legit. Let's see. Yeah. What Tuesdays with Maury by Mitch Albom? What's that? Yes, John, so much of it's all show distractions, trying to manipulate our emotions, which drive our actions. Yeah, try the hardest not to watch all the political videos all the time. Yeah, because it will also take your time up, which is time that you could be building your YouTube channel, which is time that you could be working on your business. You know what I'm saying? It's like a vampiric system, and people get out there and they put on the hats and they put on the shirts and they go out with the signs and they do all this stuff for people that will never know who you are. They don't care who you are. They don't care about you. And if they saw you on the street, maybe they would help you on a personal level, but maybe they wouldn't. You know what I mean? Let's see. Sovereign citizen. Okay. Yeah, I was talking about me with streaming together. Okay, when you email me, I'll run the idea by you. It's something I was already planning to do, but with someone else, it could probably be better. I'd love to do that. Sounds like I'd love to do that. I don't want to say, but I'll email you. I'll try to email you tonight, Kendra. I have my email set up. I just haven't shared it yet. I want to get a few connections made before I actually share it so that I have some lines of communication that I know are 100% legitimate. Have had a lot of money. It's entertaining for a while and small comfort. Glad to experience it, but can only buy so much. That's true. Young, you think money's king? It helps. Can only spend so much. Yeah. John, what happened to our generation? We never cared about politics in our 20s. It seems like millennials, we just wanted to YOLO. Now just act like boomers. Well, that's how it works. People got institutionalized. Okay, it's an institutionalization. And I don't judge people for voting. I voted. I have voted. I've kind of gotten sucked into it a little bit. And then but I almost wonder now, I'm like, I have questions about that. I mean, I have questions about that too. Like, what does that even do? Like, does that do anything? And I think it does in local elections. I think it does. I don't know about the big picture stuff. I sometimes wonder if it's all planned out. But yeah, I mean, dude, it's just it's the media, social media mind control. It's the news. It's the things. It's the programming. I talk about it all the time. I'm going to get deeper into this. Some of it is that you have a belief. You believe in something, right? I have beliefs. There are politicians that claim to espouse those same beliefs. The truth is that nowadays I question whether they actually espouse those beliefs or not, or if they are just trying to get my vote. I don't even know what that vote means anymore either. So, it's kind of a bummer, but is vampiric a word? I don't know, dude. I don't know. You're still in the van. Yeah, I'm in the van still, but on this channel now. So I was on the other channel earlier. Amy says, I am a boomer. I can talk politics all day. I think that's what he's talking about, Amy. I think that's what he's talking about. We used to not care about politics. He's right. I used to go to the car people. This is why I like the car communities, because now it's almost not that way. But, the car communities, like racing and stuff like that, we used to never care about somebody's politics. Like, who cares? Who cares? It's like, dude, that's a badass car. Like, look at that. Look what just happened. Like, look at what that dude just did. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, who cares about politics? And that's what I like about cars. It used to bring everybody together. It probably still does in some ways. And we could at least agree that, like, man, that's an impressive build. Like that, you know what I mean? That's an amazing classic vehicle, like completely restored, beautiful car. Look at that. Like, start it up. I want to hear it. It's got a cam. Like, it's like, a little aggressive cam. Like, listen to that. Like, it's just that's what I like about the car community is it's not so politically driven. And that's what I like about my DoorDash videos too. Like when I get to do the DoorDash videos and stuff, I'm all about the hustle, you know what I mean? And it's like, let's get it, right? Like everybody's got different issues, but we all got to survive. Everybody's got to eat. Everybody's got to pay rent. Everybody's got to pay do I want another human being to suffer? No, of course not. For their political beliefs? Of course not. Like that's crazy if you do. So it's like, yeah, dude. I mean, it's just like, let's go. So Amy, boomers are all about politics. She just says she is, yeah. But it's okay. Like I understand that. I could talk about this stuff all day long too, but my take on it is going to be I don't know if I'm ever going to get behind like a political candidate as much like because I just don't know, man. I just don't know. I don't know if we're not all being kind of played with that stuff. I think it's responsibility of the citizen to be informed. Yeah, absolutely. Well, you used to have to be able to read to vote. You used to have to be able to, yeah, you used to have to own property to vote. I think you should at least be able to like read or like pass a basic test because if not, you're going to just be informed by like whatever news article or news agencies or whatever are saying. Like whatever you listen, somebody else can tell you what to believe if you're not able to go think for yourself. Um, the lights are looking really cool now. It's getting darker. I know, right? How's the winter storm? It wasn't as bad here, Javier, but still no DoorDash today. It opened back up tonight on the app, but I'm not going out because it's going to be freezing and they don't have all the roads clear, so I'm not going to take the risk tonight. I think we've been through war or two, politics come into play. I understand that. I understand caring about certain things because I do too. I think there are threats to society that come from political machines. I just don't know exactly what I can do about it. And so what I would say is like more importantly, what can we do in our lives and our individual lives to better our situation? That's a more real impact, right? I can't do anything about whether I agree with the president or if I disagree with the president or if I agree with like the Democrats, the Republicans, like I have found there's really not much I can do about it, even if I don't. So it's a big waste of my time to really get worked up about it, right? Why should I have a heart condition over what's going on with a bunch of people that don't care about me? Well, I could be building my own systems at least, and at least get myself and my family to a position where maybe we can help some people, like in real life. I would say 2016 was the year people started following politics like it's entertainment. Yeah, and a lot of it is the gamification, almost the WFC. Wait, was the wrestling thing, right? Um, it's all a show. Um, Command center with lighting. That's right. Gray man, almost didn't see you there, dude. You blended in. You always blend in with your comments, dude. It's like you're like gray man or something. Um, Guys, are you guys gonna be here for a minute? Are you down for few more minutes? Because if so, I've gotta like go take a break for a second, just like for like 1 minute. Is that cool? We cool with that? Politics too hot to be speaking about it? Well, you got to listen to the way I speak about it. All right, I'll be right back. Opening blast doors. Closing blast doors. gotta start the car. Cold again. All right. I'm back. What did I miss? I'll see. I'm off for the night. Awesome stream, John. Thanks for this. Yeah, appreciate that. Craig said cool. Yeah, Gray Man said yes. Stick around. I'm back. Go in. Getting cold, I bet. No, I just had to take a little break, do people stuff. Looking forward to more live streams over here. Yep. Thank you. Kendra, take care. I'm gonna look for an email. I'm gonna get you soon. I'm gonna get over there soon. I told you I would. When you vote for president, you're voting. All you're voting for is the CEO of Best Buy, if you look at it that way. Yeah. Sorry, I feel kind of sad for elderly farmers that still can't read, but still work to take care of their families. Yeah. Interesting. I wish they would take money out of the campaigns. It's always the person with the most money that ends up the party's ticket. Hey, that's true. I'll say that, D-Man. I can't run for president, you know what I'm saying? Somebody, they used to say, like, you could be anything you want, right? Well, you can't run for president unless you have, like, there's a certain amount of money you actually have to even get into debates, to get on a ticket, like, and it's crazy. So, yeah, money is a big part of it, and that's why I don't have a lot of faith in it, because of that. If you don't have the money, you have to raise the money, and you have to raise the money from different people. And that's the thing I think I would like to say to people is, like, on social issues and in practice, I guess, of, like, political systems, like the left and the right are different in that way. But in a lot of ways, are you sure they're so different? Like, in the actual practice of, like, what they vote for and what they allow. And I mean, are we sure they're actually even, like, different teams? You know what I mean? I know that socially, I get it. Like, there's certain things. Some people believe this and some people believe that, right? There's that. But I think that's the people. That's not necessarily, that's just how people believe. But the political parties, they just play that. They're like, okay, you have this, you want to be like this, then yeah, I'm like that too, vote for me, right? I don't even know if they really even believe the things that they say, and that's why I don't have much faith in that. Like, a person's not going to save you. Like, a politician's not going to come and solve your problems, especially in your life, right? Like, if you have issues in your life, a politician's not going to solve that. They can do things to screw things up probably quicker than they can do things to fix things. You know what I mean? So I don't look to them to help. Question is, does your vote even count? Yeah, it's a question, isn't it? At one point, farmers were very smart without school. They understood science because they had to survive. Yeah, farmers are smart. I mean, yeah. Did you install LED strips, or is it something else? They're these bars. They're like bars, and you can change the color and stuff. So I didn't install them. I could put them anywhere. I could put them anywhere that I'm at. Like, I could bring them with me. Omar, who's Omar? I think you're talking about D-Man. Money is destroying politics. Well, I think it's already destroyed people in politics. No, vote doesn't count, only what president wants. Yeah, maybe. I don't even think, see, this is the thing, like, I think if you're arguing about what the president's doing and stuff, I don't think the president's even that powerful. I actually don't think that. president's like a figurehead. There's other people that do a lot more. They have a lot more to do with what actually happens than the president. Most of the things that the president pushes through or whatever, they can't be done without Congress. And if the president said to do something, it wouldn't happen if like several other people in the system down the line didn't do it. So I don't think they have the power to either do it or not do it. And if it's not constitutional, they have the power to evoke that. But I just don't. I think the presidents are figureheads, man. They're just there to look a certain way, say a certain thing, make people think that it's going in this direction or that direction. But I really don't think there's a lot of power. I don't think they have as much power as people say. Before the school system, they had homeschool. So my children are homeschooled because the school system in my area is not very good. If someone were to sponsor you, no matter how much money you ask for, would you run for office? No, because I would be beholden to that person who sponsored me. That's what I'm saying. I think that's what the problem is. Say you get with me and you're like, hey, dude, he believes in God and he's a hard worker and has somewhat conservative values on this end, but he's like pretty open-minded on that end, and he's a pretty good guy. I'm gonna sponsor him. And then I say something or do something that you disagree with, and you're like, hey, remember where you came from. Remember where your money came from. You get what I'm saying? And then now I'm like, I'm beholden to you. There's these games that happen. So I don't think I would. I don't think I would take the money because I don't want to be beholden to somebody. It's like my YouTube channel. It's like if you take this money to say my other channel, right? What if DoorDash hit me up tomorrow and was like, hey, you know what? You talk good about DoorDash, we'll give you an extra like $5,000 a month or whatever, which would not happen. But you get what I'm saying, or $1,000 a month, whatever you think's realistic. I wouldn't do that. Because I can't do that. I can't do a 10-hour live stream, door dashing, and make it all look beautiful and perfect, right? It's gonna be rough. It's gonna be ugly. It's gonna be good. There's gonna be times that it's wonderful, but there's gonna be times that it's all gonna average out to like $20 an hour. We've proven that. So I can't sit there and say, well, DoorDash is great. DoorDash is wonderful all day long, and actually do an honest 10-hour live stream while I'm door dashing, because it just ain't like that. The app glitches. Sometimes I have to open the thing up. You get what I'm saying? So I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to take that money. If they call me, a lot of people would be like, oh, this is a great opportunity. It's a great opportunity to put chains around yourself and make yourself a servant of somebody else, and be locked into saying things that you might know are not true. So, that's kind of how I feel about it. I don't think I would take the money. Did you ever read John Scott Adams' book? I don't think so. I don't know. Like rereading? I don't know. Reframing the Constitution. We have mixed business and religion with politics, and that is the problem. Yeah, it is kind of a problem. I mean, we have separation of church and state for a reason, and then obviously the business and the politics is an issue as well. Especially when you have the huge the corporations are really big now. It's not like a lemonade stand. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's an issue because they have enough money and power to like really do. That's why I say the president isn't as powerful as people think he is. When the president says something like, we're going to do this thing and this, we're going to take over this particular country, right? Do you think the president got that idea from himself? Do you really think that? That's somebody else's plan, dude. He's just doing the thing that he's been paid to do, probably. Like, it's not, he might not even mean it. They might not even mean it. They may mean it, but they may even not mean it just to get some other thing to happen. There's game, it's chess, not checkers, and it's like there's a lot of things happening, and, behind the scenes that we don't know, and all we get to see is the president. All we get to see is the your representative of your state, or of your district, your senators, whatever. We see those people, but there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes. And so they're not speaking their own mind many times. They're not speaking their real thoughts. They're being programmed just like a lot of other people, just like the people that follow them. If you start and go city chair and go up the ladder, maybe. But I think even then, over time, by the time you get to mayor, you probably got to have some people in your ear, and it could be bad. Our government doesn't care about us. That's true. I agree with that. Religion is the most divisive force on earth. Well, the use of religion itself, yeah. I mean, the use of it to divide people, just like politics. Politics is a very divisive force. Good night. Have meetings to go check on the winter storm. See how this winter storm was. All right, Javier Valdez, you have a good night. Hey there, everybody. Hey, Michael, what's up? How's it going? Welcome in. Welcome into the live stream. James Thomas, Congress has given up their power to the president. I'm not really sure about that. Now, I will say that the presidential powers seem to have been increased over time, but even then, I don't know that the power of that position is exactly the power of the person who holds that position, if that makes sense. Remember, they're beholden to the people that get them where they are. All of them. And that's anybody. Whether you're talking about Trump, Biden, Obama, Bush, Clinton, Bush, on and so forth, and so on and so forth. They're beholden to the people that get them there. So it's really, is that Trump saying what he's saying? Or is that the people who came up with that plan 20 years ago who helped him get where he is? Same with Biden, same with Obama, same with Bush. I mean, I don't think there's really less exceptions right now. The only difference is we have the gamification of it, where the politicians is like a political, it's like a sports game or whatever. And it's like my side versus your side. And they know that. Don't you think at the top of the NFL, it's about the money? That's why I'm not really into sports. Not knocking anybody who is, but I'm just not really into sports. I have questions about the validity of some of the outcomes of some of those games. And that's okay, because that's not an indictment of football in and of itself. It's not an indictment of baseball in and of itself. I love the game of baseball, But do I think people are going to do things to make more money? Of course they probably are. Let's see. President is literally you yelling at the CEO of Best Buy. That's all he was. Congress still exists? Question mark. Just like CEOs beholden to shareholders, same as Trump's. Any president, yeah. Money talks, bullshit walks. Yeah, exactly. So I'm saying, dude, it's like, so that's why I don't get travel in politics. It's not why I'm like, well, my president or your president or whatever. I mean, right now, guys, the president of the United States is the president of the United States. No matter who that is, that's your president. I hope they make decisions that are good for the country, no matter who that is. I want to win. I want the country to do well, because just on a personal level or a people level, like I want the people to have a country where they're free to think for themselves, free to speak for themselves, free to defend themselves, free to travel, okay, free to believe whatever it is that you believe, as long as it doesn't bother anybody else. That's what this channel's about, really. We had that freedom. We've had that freedom in this country, and we still, to some degree, have that freedom more than a lot of places in the world. The Constitution was a very interesting construct, and people don't realize it, but like that is a limitation on the government. It's nothing to do with limitations on the people. It's a limitation on the government. So when people bring that up, the government hates that. People in the government that want to do certain things probably don't like that, because it's a limitation on what they can and can't do. So I like the American system. I just don't think what we have going on right now, and have going on for the last, say, 20 years, is really representative of that American system. But there are still a lot of checks and balances to where, like I said, I don't think the president is as powerful as people make him out to be. None of that stuff can happen unless down the line this person says yes, this person says yes, this person says yes, this person says yes. You know what I mean? So It is what it is, but there's a lot of people that have a lot of power that are not the president, and in many cases, much more powerful than the president, truthfully speaking, because they can control whoever the president is. When you get your email, I will email you, Scott Adams. You would like him. He just died. The Reframing book. Great book. Okay, I will do that. Yes, I'll get the emails coming up soon. And you'll probably hit me on the Driving Daily email, because I haven't had an email for this one yet, but I am going to make an email for this channel as well soon. You see my comment above about welfare originally came from? No. I don't think so. That must have been way above. I don't know, dude. We'll have to. You can retype it. Cool lights. Yeah, I thought so too. Massacring our own people. Well, I don't. First of all, I don't know that we're massacring our own people right now. But anybody that does that is, obviously wrong to do that if that was happening. But I don't think there's a massacring going on. I don't see that happening. I'm in the streets every day. Touch cop, you're getting beaten. Well, yeah, but here's another thing, guys, about that. On a day-to-day basis, if I'm out there, like, say I'm speeding, right? Say I'm speeding, and I'm in my, and the local police over here, or whatever, they pull me over, right? If I start mouthing off to that guy, and I start running my mouth, God forbid I'm armed, and I start running my mouth, and, like, say I get out and I push the guy, what do you think's going to happen? Now, I think that there's a level where I think, like, police officers should all have, like, a lot of less lethal options available, because there's a lot of less lethal options out there. But at the same time, there's, like, this whole thing of, like, do I go up to a bear that I know, literally, between their cubs and them, what's going to probably happen, and then, like, get in between them and their cubs? No, of course I'm not going to do that. It's kind of stupid. I'm not going to do that. So you also won't find me at a protest. I believe a lot of things, but I'm not going to go to a protest. I don't think tactically, it's a dumb place to be. If I hear there's protests downtown, I'm not working the downtown market in DoorDash, because I don't want to be caught up in that shit. You get what I'm saying? You got to think. So is it right? Sometimes, I think some people screw up. They do the wrong things. There's people in positions that want to have power over people. That's not a good thing. It doesn't end well. Yes, there are police that abuse their authority. I've seen it. I've had it done to me. I have a past, dude. And I could tell you guys about a lot of things. I know about police that abuse their authority. I've experienced it. But still, I'll tell you, one thing you can do is not be anywhere near the situation. It's a good way not to get caught up in it. Not old laws, the new laws. We have every right to protest. Yeah, I'm not saying you don't have a right to protest. I'm just saying tactically, for me and my family, and for me to be the best for my family and for the best for the world and people that rely on me to show up every day, I'm not going to a protest, because that's a good way. It increases the chances of issues happening, and I've never seen a protest actually really do anything. You know what I'm saying? They don't actually do anything. You're never going to change anything. All it's going to do is make the other side mad, and then inflame everybody and make the situation worse, usually. Nothing wrong with peaceful protest. We have a right to do it. I like that. I support people's right to protest. But like I said, I can't get in the local police officer's face down here without getting in big trouble. And if I'm armed, I'm probably going to get shot. It's just the reality of it. It's just the reality of it. They teach you when you take classes for, like, carrying and stuff like that. They teach you can't escalate situations. You can't go around escalating situations. You have to be always trying to, like, de-escalate the situation, because when you do that, once you start carrying, you're more responsible. You have a responsibility that is a higher level than when you're not, if that makes sense. And so you have to act a certain way. But yeah, does it make certain things right? No, man. I mean, you know, with that girl with the car, for example, I think they could have pepper sprayed her, pulled her out of the car, go park the car, arrest her, let her lawyers deal with it, let their lawyers deal with it, and move on. I think there's a different way to deal with that. With the other one, I'm not so sure. But, you know, there's a way to make sure you don't get in that situation, and it's to not be there. So I'll always tell my family and people I love and the people I care about in my community, don't be in those situations, because that's the best way to make sure that nothing bad happens. I mean, sorry, that's my answer to that. You might not like it, I get that, but you know. Let's see. So James and Jessica, if anyone our age or 18s, if we would just fight and argue with a cop, we wouldn't dare. Me and John's generation, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I just know, like, there's just certain things you can get away with that you don't, you know? Do police officers have more power sometimes than I think they should? Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, it is what it is. If I jump off of a building, it's not going to end well, right? I know that. I'd love to be able to fly, but it just doesn't work that way, right? At a certain point, our head kind of get butts with reality if we, you know what I mean? And so you have to realize, man, there's a reality out there. You just can't mouth off to police. Like The Office. Thanks, man. The command center. What's up, Jody? Only need law enforcement. Take their own. Yeah. It's snowing again. Oh, it's snowing again up there? Dude, you had so much snow earlier. It works. Yeah, dude, it works. It is what it is, right? It's a good setup, I think. I mean, it's a van, it's a minivan. So, but when I get the camper, it'll probably be something like this when I get the camper running, so we'll be able to do it. But yeah, teens respectively never mess with cops. Yeah, we always knew, you can get a fight with one another, but you don't fight the police. You don't run from the police. You don't fight the police. When they pull you over, you say, yes, sir, yes, ma'am, whatever. It's out of respect, but if you don't want to respect them, that's fine. Just look at it tactically. Look, it's the smartest thing to do just to get the thing done with. You know what I mean? If you could just, yes, sir, yes, ma'am, no problem, whatever. Take the ticket, fight it in court. I had a cop the other day, pulled me over. I wasn't even speeding, guys. I'm pretty sure his radar picked up on the car behind me. And I wanted to argue the fact because I was looking right at my speedometer the whole time, and I seen the police officer, I seen the guy behind me coming up over the hill. They use radar, not LiDAR, in this town. I understand that radar can actually pick up on another signal from a different car if it's not situated a certain way, and I think that's what happened. I didn't argue with the guy too much, man, because I know how these things can go. I've had police officers get aggressive with me. I've had them detain me. I've had them do things that I'm not going to talk about right now, but I know all about police crossing the line because they've crossed the line with me before. I've had it happen, and in a life where I was in a different position. I've had it happen, so that I know they do it. But what did I learn from that? To yell at them? No. Yes, sir. No, sir. No problem. Whatever. I'll see you in court. I live another day. I drive away, and I'll see you in court. Because it just isn't worth it. Some things are just not worth it. Your life is not worth it. Whether it's right, whether it's wrong, whether the use of force, excessive force is whatever. I can teach my children all the intricacies of whether this is wrong or right, but at the end of the day, I want them to live to see another day. I'm going to say, look, the best thing you can probably do is just to be respectful that individual, they've got a gun and a badge, okay? They're in a position you're not in. All right? They've got you detained or they've got you pulled over or whatever. Just, yes, sir, yes, ma'am. Do the thing you got to do. Do the Jedi mind trick and get out of there. Survive another day. We live in a country where you can have your day in court, get a wonderful attorney, and deal with the situation that way. You're never going to be able to argue your way out of the situation with a police officer. It's just not going to happen. So why even try? You know, there's just a reality to it. No matter what you believe. Because if that guy is wrong, it could end very badly. And just because he's wrong doesn't mean you're any more alive after the situation. You get what I'm saying? So why even go there? You see my comment about the welfare? I didn't. You can retype it, Yosef. You can retype it. But anyway, that's all I'm going to really say about that. I think it's common sense. I think it really is. You know, do I think that the agencies, law enforcement agencies, should have less lethal options available to them? Absolutely. I think they should have and should utilize less lethal options whenever possible. And you know, I think that's like very important for them to do so. For their sake, for everybody's sake. You know what I mean? If they're going to be doing what they're doing, that's what they should be trying to use at any chance they get a chance to do that and not do something else. All right. Let's see. We've been live. How long have we been live for? 2 hours and 30 minutes, guys. We've got 26 people in the house. We've got 49 people have decided to hit the like button. I do appreciate that. We've had a couple interesting conversations, but we've had some good conversations. I think at the end of the day, the most important thing is, and what I'm going to focus on, is the things that we can control, which is your factors in your life. There's bigger factors out there, but there's nothing you can do about that. That's just the reality. So do what you got to do. Build your business. Focus on helping your community, helping your family. Do those things. That's what's going to be bigger. Welfare originally from church, but only government before the 40s. FDR made the church give it over, then the government became God. Yeah. I talk about this in my video about remember when the food stamps almost didn't go, the food stamps, you know, remember the food stamps thing? I made a video about that. I was like, basically, like, we got to try not to rely on the government because you can't rely on them. And the people that I've seen that typically help, like the churches, whether you agree with them or not, I've seen them like literally be the ones that help people like in their community, and a lot of people get help from them. You know what I mean? So your neighbors, you know, family members, people in your life, community is more important. So if you can get a situation where you have good community and less reliance on the government, I think that's a good thing. I think that's a better thing, right? Because the government's plays. What did they do during that food stamps thing? Both sides played it off for their political gain. Both sides did. And it's a shame. You guys got everybody hooked on your food stamps. You allowed that to happen, and then now you're using that as leverage to play games like politically. I just disagree with that on all levels and for all sides. You know, I think none of them, like, you know, were behaving the way they should probably behave, considering that they got everybody all pretty much hooked on the handouts or whatever to begin with. You know what I mean? So I thought that was kind of crazy. So my solution to that is, you know, help out your neighbor, help out your family. And if everybody does that, then it'll be a better place. You know, there'll be less tension in a situation like that. So government shut down again, maybe food stamps. I don't know. Once again, it'll be them playing politics. You know, it'll be everybody playing politics with people's lives. Because we refuse to pay for ice. Yeah. So, once again, we'll come back to the same thing. In that situation, I'm going to do the best I can to not be up there yelling and screaming in front of the agencies. I'm going to do the best I can to be taking care of my family. I'm going to do the best I can to be giving good information that can help other people, whether it be on the DoorDash, whether it be over here talking about books and different things like that. You know, I mean, yeah, if I see somebody that needs help and they're like a Democrat or they're a Republican, I'm still going to help. Like, I don't care. You know what I mean? This is the difference between us and the government. The government says, well, if they do what you're saying and they say, well, we don't want to fund this thing, so we're not going to allow these people to get help. Or we want to help people, so you got to fund this thing. So they're holding one thing over the other. Government does that. Community doesn't. If I give a gift, I don't need anything back. You know, if I help somebody, then it is what it is. They can help somebody else, and so on and so forth. You know, it's just like, and why would the government act that way? Well, the people that get there, the politicians that we talked about, the reason I wouldn't take somebody's money as a sponsorship to go and be political, because once again, they're beholden to the people whose money they take. So here they are. They expect us to be beholden if we take their money. You want the food stamps? We're going to have to vote for this or vote against that or not vote for this. Remove yourself from it, and you don't have to worry about it so much. And that's why I don't like to watch the news, because they make a big deal out of all of this stuff, and it's all part of this. I say social media mind control, but the older version of that is the news. Your CNNs, your Fox News, your ABC, all that stuff. That's the older version of that same mechanism. The polarization, the divide and conquer, the this side's better than that side. Yeah, there's things that, the Republicans claim to stand for that I believe in. There's things that some Democrats claim to stand for that I believe in. But I don't believe that any of them actually believe any of it. I think they're just in it for the money, in it for whatever. Streaming Demon, what's up, man? I don't know how long you've been here, but how you doing? Welcome in. James says, I appreciate your willingness to discuss uncomfortable subjects. Discussion always helps to heal. Yeah. And I know a lot of times, and we have to, you have to do it in doses. I know that. And like I said, I have my beliefs on certain things. That you might not believe. That's okay. Because it's America. Because we in this country, we're able to have disagreement without having our heads chopped off. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's other places where you can't do that. There's other places in the world that are run by like religious organizations, or they're run by whatever. You can't disagree. You can't have another belief. You can't act that out or live that out, or you're done. So we're blessed to be here still. It's not as bad as a lot of people make it out to be. There's a lot of problems, but you can still work through it because you can talk about it. And like I said, community is more important, and if somebody, I don't use hair dye. If somebody comes up and they have blue hair or pink hair or whatever, and they need help and they're on the side of the road and their car's broke down, like, am I going to not help them because of the way they look, or what they've chosen to do with their life, or the bumper sticker of who they voted for on their car? I'm going to not help them because of that? Come on. It's crazy. We've gotten to a point in the country where a lot of people do think that way. They're like, well, screw them. They can just suffer. Come on, man. It's a human being. And you know what? You might have an impact on that human being and the way they think in the process of just helping them out. They might be like, hey, you know what? Maybe everybody that's voted for this person isn't such a bad person just because of that. Maybe whatever. You know what I mean? Well, maybe they have a point. I disagree with them, but I see why they believe that. I see why they thought that was. They think they're helping people. Okay, I get it. Makes sense. We discuss, do you believe the moon landing is fake? You guys are trying to get into all of the goods before on the first live stream. Was the second live stream technically. I'll say this, I don't know. It sure looks like it could be fake. I'll say that. I've looked into it. When I looked into it, I didn't get a lot of proof that it's real. I didn't get a lot of proof that it was fake, but it doesn't seem like If I found out, if I like died and found out, you know, if I like died and then they're like, hey, look, you know, back in that world, you know, the moon landing was fake, and I could trust that, I wouldn't be surprised. You know what I mean? But you know, and one of the big things that I think about when I think about that is like, why didn't we go back? You know, why didn't we go back if it was real? I would think we'd have a base up there. Now, another theory is that it was real, and that we did go back, and there are bases there, maybe on the dark side of the moon or something. But it's like top secret, and it's probably worldwide. It's like all the governments together in on it. But I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, that's a crazy. We could look into that. Like, we could like one day do a live stream just on that, and we could like look up, and I would read the different stuff, and we could discuss it. What you guys think? You know what I mean? That would be fun. That'd be fun to do. What do you think? What do you guys think? All right, let me know in the. We got 29 people in. Let me know in the chat. What do you think? One, if you think the moon landing is real. Two, if you think the moon landing was fake. I want to see what you guys think. I would like to. I've kind of given you a little bit of the rundown what I think. I mean, I kind of lean towards. I lean towards two, but I want to hear what you guys think. We got a 2, we got a 1. Craig believes it's real. Michael believes it's real. NY believes it's fake. So far, the 1s are winning. More people believe it's real than fake. James believes it's real. Streaming Demon believes it's real. We got a lot of reals, man. A lot of people believe it's real. Not everybody's chatting. We got 27 people in the house. What would be the point to fake it? It's a good question. That's a good question. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what would be the point. It's a good question, Streaming Demon. That's why I can't fully lean into really any of it. I have to say that personally, I don't have the knowledge. Like, I don't know because I wasn't there. I've seen the video. I've seen some of the other stuff. Microchip says 1. Like, it is probably a good conversation to have because of the things that, like Streaming Demon pointed out. Why would they make it fake? Well, I would like to hear why they would make it fake. We're at war with Russia. Okay. So it was to like a flex, maybe? A flex to say, hey, look, we're in the moon, and from the moon we can reach you every night. Look at the moon rover. The moon rover does look a little bit suspect. The lander looks a little suspect. Looks like they took like some tinfoil and made that thing with it. I thought I was true for it. Davey says 2. We got a 2. So Yosef is like leaning into 2 as well. So we got 3 2s, I think. 1, 2, 3 2s, 1, 2, 3, 4, about 5 1s. There would be many trips if we made it there. I doubt one time. Yeah. I feel like, all right, I can play devil's advocate for both because I can honestly say I don't. If it was real, I do feel like we would have commercialized something right now by, like, wouldn't we have like commercialized trips or some kind of, wouldn't Elon Musk have gone to the moon? Like, he wants to go to Mars. Wouldn't he have gone to the moon first? Doesn't he need a moon base if he wants to go to Mars? He might say differently. He might say, well, we don't need a moon base because we can go directly to Mars. But wouldn't that be a good place to like refuel or like maybe to hop in from there, like to hop back into the atmosphere? I don't know. I just think that. Our generation only believes it because our generation had no idea, no internet. Yeah. I will say this. Typically, I've seen that older people tend to believe it more, but they feel like they saw it. A lot of older people maybe feel like they saw it happen. Because you feel like you're seeing something happen when it's unfolding on TV and like all that. We've landed on the moon 6 times, Streaming Demon says. Do you know when was the last time we landed on the moon? Like, when was the most recent? If I ask Google, Google says Blue Ghost Mission 1. What is this? Fireflies Aerospace's Blue Ghost Mission 1 successfully landed near Mons Latrell. But when? Alright. June 1st, 2024. That's a different one. This is like a Chinese. But that's not a man on the moon, right? Alright, let me get back to the chat. $1972. See, that seems like a long time to me. Why not since then? That would be my question for that. Now, if we're going with it's real, what would be my devil's advocate question as the person who believes it's real? I guess, like you said, like, why would they fake it would be a good question. But the Russian war with Russia thing is a good answer to that. We got more technical now. Jody has one toe on the fake side. Yeah. Yeah, I think I do too. I don't know. I want to believe it. I want to believe it because I think it would be kind of cool if we did. I watched all the Star Treks, and I'm a huge Star Wars fan, but I did watch all the Star Treks too. I'm not as big of a Star Trek fan, but I think it's cool, the idea of like the Enterprise and stuff like that. Like, crew out there in space. I watched, I think it's called Existence. It gets a little weird towards the end, but the concept, they did a really good job of the concept. Wasn't it because we shift our focus to the space shuttle or the International Space Station? At least that's what I learned in school. I mean, that's the narrative, right? John would love to live stream over the moon landing being fake. I mean, we're kind of doing it right now. I would get into it more deep, though. Like, I'd have to do research for that one. I'd have to do research on both sides, trying to find, like convince me, you know what I mean? Like, prove to me, like, tell me what's up. Look into Hollywood, how they jumped around. Yeah, I've seen a lot of that stuff, and it's weird. I mean, it's weird. So there's a place out in, dang, where is it? Hold on. It's called, not, shoot. The Lunar Crater. I can't remember. Where's it called? Where's that place called, guys? We looked at it one time on the other channel. Maybe it was on this channel. This question comes up a lot. When people find out you're willing to go there, they ask you this question. And I'm never going to act like I know the answers. Hold on. Land in the ocean looks like mathematics tree for it. I got you. Yeah. Then there's a place I can't remember it, and I'm not gonna be able to have time to look it up, but there is a place where it like looks like the moon, and you could have filmed it there. There's also like Hollywood sets for it and stuff. But yeah, I mean, I like the why. Here, I'm gonna turn the fan off. I like the why fake it. I like the why fake it thing too, though. You know what I mean? Like, why fake it? That's a good question. But then again, like, maybe maybe it's the Russians. What do you guys think? Let me see. It's about half and half, man. You guys are about half and half on who like believes it and who doesn't believe it. Um, I want to believe it. I think it's cool, man. I like the idea of space travel. It's like a cool concept. I like to think we could go to Mars and stuff. You in the honeymoon suite? I don't know, man. What do you think? Ever look into the book of Job? I believe the firmament, not its round. Oh, you don't. So you are okay. So do you fall in that flat Earth category? Because I don't know about that one. I think the Earth is roundish. I kind of think that personally, but I've heard some interesting arguments from that camp, and it's definitely interesting. No flat Earth. Do you mean you don't believe it, or you do believe it? Are you a flat Earth? I don't like the term flat earther for people like that because it just dismisses everything. I get it that you have questions, but like I do think that it's round. I've met people that are pilots and stuff, and um, talked to them, and I feel like there's a good reason to believe that it's kind of round. You know what I mean? Ever watched Simpsons movie? Nah, nah, I haven't. You like dome, like the dome Earth or something? Read the Bible where it's done. I mean, I think I know what you're talking about. The waters above. I get that. Now, I will say this. So I don't believe the earth is flat. I will say that at some point in time, it's possible that the atmosphere was a little bit different. Um, why are we going around the moon again soon, not landing on it? Yeah, I mean, okay, so my thought on it is like, why are we going to Mars if we're not going back to the moon? If the last time was 1972, wouldn't we want to go there? Or is there just so much nothingness there that it's not worth it? Like, there's got to be something. Now, I did look at some stuff. There's people that have like speculated how we would build a base on the moon. And I guess there's these like holes in there, they say. And it was interesting. Like they were talking about going into those craters and like actually landing, and how to build up like an ecosystem out in one of these like the crater goes in and it becomes like almost like a cave. And they were like gonna there's a whole like there's a whole thing on that, like building into that, into the cave or whatever, and like kind of building a moon base, right? There's a place where you can land and then like decompress and then like get in, and like they had it all figured out. They had the lights, they had the plants that they would plant and stuff. Um, if it was round or if it were flat, how would it spin? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I believe the Earth is like round for sure. um, look into it, John. NASA's pic of the Earth. I don't know. And I don't know what to believe about the pictures, you know what I mean? Like it's hard. It's hard now. But I think it makes sense that it would be round. So many people have like circumnavigated, so like some people have circumnavigated the world like by plane and boat and things like that. So if you go, I think you can't go around it unless it's around. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't know. I've seen a lot of that stuff. It's going to be a hard sell to sell me on the flat earth. Like I'll listen to it a little bit. I mean, I get it. Like I've actually looked at, dude. I question everything. So of course, when I heard about the flat Earth stuff, I was like, well, what you guys talking about? You know what I mean? But I don't. Trees only grow on Earth, which is we need for oxygen. Every other mineral is found on the other planets. Is that true? Can't live elsewhere. Yeah, I mean, I don't know that we can. Like, I don't think so. I mean, we have to transport our atmosphere there, right? Like anywhere we go, if we go in space, we would have to, we have to have oxygen. You have to have food. You have to have light. You know, I have a light right here. It's pretty good light, but I don't think it's gonna like. I don't even think this light would grow my plants. I have like special lights for that. You know what I mean? To keep my like, my aloe and then my wife's avocado trees and stuff like that. Like indoors when it's cold outside, my different herbs and stuff. Like the what do you call it? I got some basil in there right now, and different stuff. Like I have a light that's like specifically like the spectrum that they need, but even then, it's still never as good as sunlight. Like when springtime comes and I can put my plants outside, they do a lot better with just the natural sunlight. I think the reason why we don't need to land on the moon now is because the satellite imagery, and we can see what's going on. Don't have to go there. That might be, yeah, it might be so inhospitable that it's not worth sending a person. So what if space is a lie? Does the Bible say space ever? I don't think so. Ever look into their satellites or balloons? I don't know, man. Because I've seen. I don't know, man. I saw the Starlink launches, like, and my Starlink works with line of sight. Like, how does that work? Are they all balloons? I mean, I don't know. I don't think so. I think with a spinning ball, like I think that the whole idea of the satellites can work. Like I think that's the thing. You know what I mean? You can launch the satellites, you can have them in the sky and have them rotating the Earth. Now I don't know the whole science behind it, but now I feel like some of them do fall down, and I think I've seen some fall down. I think we're going to see more and more fall down. Like when I'm driving, I see stuff falling out of the sky. I think it's space debris. I think it's like satellites. They may even take them down on purpose, knowing they can burn up. They probably build them knowing that they can burn up before they hit the ground and not be too much of a danger. Or is the moon an astral projection used for energy? Oh my goodness. She's going there. True, they go to the dome with every cartoon, fishbowl. I don't know, man. I don't know. Okay, the cartoon, but a cartoon, like, can we believe a cartoon now? You know what I mean? I don't know if we can believe like a cartoon when it comes to that. How do they know? How did they know to make the cartoon? Yeah, but it's from Disney. Like, they do like Snow White and the Seven Dwarves and stuff. That's not real. Art imitates life. Yeah, I mean that's true. But truer stuff from the 40s. Yeah, maybe. Dude, maybe. That's a whole nother thing, the predictive programming and all that. That's a weird one maybe we'll get into. Half of them around Disney. Okay. I'll check it out, man. But how does Disney know? That's what I'm saying. Like, how do they know? This is another question. If all of this is a lie over here, and we're all being lied to over here, how do the people over here know that it's a lie to begin with, and why are they telling the lie? You have to account for that because, you know what I mean? Like, why would they lie about that? There's no real reason. I don't think that, I don't know if there's a reason to lie about that, right? What do you guys think? I really don't know, man. But I think satellites are real, man. I think satellites are doing what they do. We broadcast from a Starlink satellite dish, right? And it picks up a signal from the satellites. Like, how else is it getting the signal? It literally blocks the signal when I'm under a tree. You know what I mean? Like, we've tested it on the other channel and stuff. Like, it blocks like if it's under a tree, it blocks the signal. You know, it's definitely getting a signal from up there. You know, and it's even better if you point it at certain directions where the satellites actually are. You know, and there's an app. There's an app that I have. It's on that phone. I'm using it right now, but I can like literally look and see like the satellites, like where it's supposed to point to get the best signal. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking that up. Kessler syndrome, collisional cascading or ablation cascade scenario proposed by NASA scientists describes a situation in which the density of objects is low in low Earth orbit becomes high due to space pollution. That collisions between these objects cascade, exponentially increasing the amount of space debris. Yeah. So, Jay Daniel, I didn't know if you were trolling or not, but what you're saying makes sense. I think that's true because I see this stuff coming out of the sky. I drive at night, like I drive. You know, you guys know I drive like all the time. I see stuff coming out of the sky all the time, like falling out, and I think it's space debris. I think it's because we got so much stuff up there. You know, I've seen the satellites go up for the Starlink, and it's like they go up like 20 at a time or something like that. It's like boom, 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 and it's like a line of them going across the sky. So it's like I think there's so many up there. Yeah, of course, I think some of them are going to fall down. I think they, hopefully, now if I was designing satellites, I would design them where when they fall, that you know, it's the size of the thing should be such that it like burns up before it hits the ground. Um, Science lies all the time. They say evolution, monkeys, and they say change now for the next generation. I wonder if Disney watched the sky. I've caught stuff that up there that looks like Mickey Mouse. Really? What are you talking about? Really? You have pictures of that? You should show that on your video on your channel. Um, we are discussing the topic now. Yes, if we're discussing it now. This Kessler syndrome thing, I feel like is a thing. Critical need for more effective space management. Yeah, because there's so much stuff in the sky. I believe that. I see stuff in the sky all the time, dude. Like, and I think like, okay, that's probably because you could see the space station, and then we got all these satellites for like these satellite services and stuff. It's kind of the Wild West up there right now. So I feel like, yeah, it's gonna get regulated eventually. You beat any NASA lie. I got you, dude. I hear that. Look, scientists don't have all the answers. I will say that. A lot of times they do try to refute things just based on refuting things, like in the Bible, for example. But then there's a lot of things that are in the Bible that have been proven to be true that for a long time people said were falsehoods because they weren't scientifically proven. And there's a lot of things that have been proven from the Bible as well. Now, that also depends on whether you actually look at the Bible as a technical field manual, like a or a science book, or is it something else? You know what I mean? Depends on how you view it. If you're looking at that to like tell you how to recreate the universe, I don't think it's going to give you those answers because I don't think that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? But it doesn't refute the fact that there are things in that book or those books, because it's multiple parchments and things like that that are put together in the Bible, that are correct, that lead to truth. You know what I'm saying? So here, two things can be at once true again. You know what I mean? Science is the study of God's creation, right? So, you ask why would they show us the truth, right? I mean, I don't know why. What do you got? What do you got, dude? I'll hear you out. I'll hear you out. I got a little bit more time. I got a little bit more time. But yeah, I mean, it gets crazy. I mean, there's a certain point where it's like we don't have the answers. It's almost like the macro politics thing. It's like there gets to be a certain point where it's like it doesn't do any more good to speculate until you it's fun, but it doesn't do much good to speculate until you can find something concrete that you can actually apply in your life, right? In the I don't know. I don't know about that. Like I don't know about that. I truly don't. Um I put a couple pics of my Yankee Springs hiking video through in there. Okay, cool. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, I don't know about that, dude. I don't know about that dashing with Yusuf. I'm not so sure about that. I don't know anything about that. But anyway, look, guys, it's been about 3 hours. I think it's been a good live stream. I appreciate talking with you guys about these topics, these interesting topics, and sometimes touchy topics. If you'd like to see any more live streams like this, of just talking about certain things, of course, sometimes I'll come up with an actual topic ready to roll. But yeah, let me know if you want to get me to continue these lives. Definitely let me know in the chat, and I will continue these lives as time goes on. We'll do more. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Like I said, it's about 3 hours. I'm gonna probably go hang out with my kids a little bit, probably watch some TV and stuff. So yeah, definitely gonna do that. Yes, Craig says continue. Craig, I'm gonna do something, man. Oh shoot, that's the wrong one. Wrong person. Let's see. Craig, type again, please, sir. Type anything. Let's see. Davey says, nice studio set, John. Good seeing you. Yeah, and it may change. Like, I've got another spot to do this in. It's like a camper, so that's in a different location. But now that I have this too, like I may be able to do this here sometimes. Maybe even late at night. If I get home late and my kids are asleep already, and so that I can't hang out with them, we might be able to continue some of the live streams from the other channel when I get back home. Maybe we could do some of these. And if I can do 2 or 3 of these a week, I think I can grow this channel a little bit. What do you think, guys? Can they help me grow the channel? Craig's got a wrench, dude. So he's got a monkey wrench he can throw into the mix. What happened to the purple? Probably died. I didn't have it hooked up. Oh, it's there. It's like a pink color. It's there. Like it's just yeah, that's a good question. What happened to it? It's here. Just not that the green is so bright. Hold on a second. Turn the green down. There's like the pink purple color. Maybe it's a little more overpowering. Oh Mike, dude, what's up, man? Finally chat loaded. I just got here. Back had the Sonoran is back. Had to pick up the kids from school. And you're done. It's all good, dude. How you doing, man? Did you do good today? Did you have a good day? How's the weather out there? I hear it's pretty bad. I could still chill for a little bit, man. I just wanted to, like, things were getting a little, I don't want to get it. Some of these topics, guys, we can't, I'm not even allowed to go but so far on YouTube, okay? And Yosef, you got to understand that. The platform will not allow me to go into some of these topics. And so I'm not going to go there because it's their platform, not mine. Does that make sense? Streaming Demon says, yes, continue. Cool. Definitely looking into the lives, we believe, John. Yeah. I mean, I will continue to do that. Of course, I'm going to also focus on things we can actually do in our lives as well. So I like to focus on that. Took a $16 DoorDash order. Nice. I needed coffee. It was slippy and slidey. Oh, be careful out there. You got back though? You're back safely now or what? You got the coffee, hopefully? Snoring Scott says yes. Semi trucks and big trucks almost ran me off the road. I started to slide off the road at one spot. Yeah, dude, be careful out there, man. Be careful. I'm not dashing today. So, Mike, did you see my live stream on the other channel earlier today? I for a period of time yesterday and today, DoorDash actually shut down in my area. I think they're back online right now. So what we talk about next? I don't know. Ultimately, I made it okay. Good. Glad to hear that, man. I don't want anybody getting hurt out there. Yeah, they're back online now with all these like big like bonus incentives. But earlier today, it had it shut down. I think I have a screenshot somewhere. I can't find it. Whatever. I posted a screenshot on my community page, and then we looked at it earlier. But they had shut the whole area down, but now it's back up and running. I don't know what I'm going to do tomorrow. Probably work like the daytime hours, and I'm not sure. I'll just, depending on how the roads are during the daytime, is how I'll determine what I do during the nighttime. You know what I mean? I do need to go work, though, because it sucks not to work. But it's been good. I made the most of it. We did a good live stream yesterday. We did a good one this morning, and then I'm live streaming on this channel now. So just trying to grow this one, guys. If we can get this one to 500 subscribers and like 3,000 watch hours, we'll be in there. Same with Craig's. I think Craig's got like 300 subscribers or something. So, I'd like to discuss not protesting how you live your life. I like the high. I don't know what you said there. I had to reject a $28 $5 orders. Oh, before getting to 16. Wow, really? Even in the snow, $5 orders? That sucks, man. People are, garbage sometimes. Not everybody, but like, dude, on the DoorDashes, man, I know people like they expect so much, you know what I mean, for so little, and it's like, yeah. It does suck not to work, and I need the snow to go away. I know, me too, dude. And you know what, Mike? We were looking it up earlier. Let me see if they changed their thing. On the weather underground. Let's look conditions. Let's go to 10-day forecast. Raleigh. I'll just do Raleigh. I'm not in Raleigh right now, but we'll do Raleigh. So it's still about a 50 to 60% precipitation. Saturday, snow, and it goes down into the beginning of Sunday. So Saturday, they're in the daytime, all the way into Sunday. They're saying that we're going to get more snow over here. So yeah, lucky us, yay. Yay, more snow. That's what we needed. Yeah, right. But anyway, so yeah, I'm very thankful for YouTube right now, because that's all I've had for the last couple of days to like do any income whatsoever. And I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for you guys. Some of you guys are on the other channel, and I appreciate that. Because yeah, it is what it is. So the newest thing with AI and healthcare, how you discuss not protest and how to live your life. Oh yeah. Both sides suck. Yeah, stay away from protest. Like, if you believe something enough to protest it, whatever, it is your right, and we do have that right. But I just, the people I care about, my subscribers and my family, I'm always just gonna say, just like, my thing is just tactically, just the smartest thing to do is just stay away from protests. Just stay away from that. Especially they're gonna be violent. You know what I mean? If it's gonna get violent or get heated or yelling and screaming and stuff, it's gonna escalate. Just stay away. Just do it. Just don't go. Just don't be there. Not gonna do any good anyway. What are you gonna do? What's it gonna do? Change everything? No, it's not. It's not gonna change anything. It's gonna tell you that. But anyway, yep. So the newest thing with AI healthcare is AI Scribe, or recording inside your office visit or your provider. Okay, Sonoran, I'll look into that. OG is still working. OG Sean is still working. You can't super chat on this channel. I can't wait till you're going live, dude. We got to get you monetized on YouTube. Must run. All right, Jody, take care. I appreciate you hanging out with me. I'm probably not going to be long on here either way. I ended up staying a little longer because Mike showed up. So I always wait for Mike to show up at the end of the day. And usually we have a little bit of time because we're dashing, but let's see. I saw a lot of other Door Dashers out working. Okay, cool. You care about us, John? I mean, yeah, a little bit, dude. I mean, I gotta have you so you can watch my videos. Nah, dude. I want to impact people, and if I wouldn't make a channel like this if I didn't think it could possibly help somebody out there. And I already have another channel that makes money, and I don't need it, but I'm sticking myself out, my neck out for this because, like, obviously a lot of people aren't going to agree with what I think and say, and so I can lose like viewers on all ends by doing this, but I think it's important, and yeah, people don't like to hear that. Stay away from protests, but dude, tactically, it's the smartest thing you can do. Obviously, there's more likely, like, you need to remove yourself from the places where likelihood of things going wrong are higher. You know what I mean? It's just like the reason we don't drive on the ice, right? Because obviously you might be able to survive that, but you might, like, if your chances increase of having an issue. So if you can wait it out, if you can, you do that, right? So we reduce the chances of having a negative issues, right? Why the hell is there no super chat on this channel? This channel isn't monetized yet, Mike. I've got to monetize. It's a new channel. I've only done it for like 2 or 3 months, like a little bit more now. So that's why we're doing the live streams. We're going to build this one up too. So yeah, no super. I can't get a super chat. Like, you were going to give me a super chat, man. Dang it. Nah, dude, I got to do some work. I got to pay my dues to YouTube. That's the deal. So I'm paying my dues over here. I lived on the other channel earlier, so I'll probably do a few of these every week, or maybe a couple every week or once a week for a while until just to try to build the hours up and stuff, and the things you got to do for YouTube. That's how it is, man. You got to pay your dues. I never take part in public protest, Streaming Demon says. Yeah, I mean, I don't either, man. I understand people's, like, beliefs, and I understand not appreciating the government, like, for what they're doing and ever, like, you know what I mean? Like, I get that more than a lot of people think, but dang it, I've never found, just throughout history, I've studied a lot of things, and I've never seen that the protests, like, really do a whole heck of a lot, and what it does do is it amplifies tensions. And if you thought those people were bad and that they were going to hurt you, why the heck would you go and, like, tempt them and taunt them? Don't do that. That's stupid. It's like poking the bear. Like, you might disagree with somebody, but it doesn't mean that you go up against them, like, and put them in a position where they're going to do the very thing that you're saying they're going to do. It's like, you already know, if you think that somebody's violent and that they're going to misuse their power, then that makes you a fool for, like, tempting them on that power, does it not? Right? I mean, I'm just saying. I wouldn't want to go down there, that's for sure. Wait, hold on. Don't make yourself human camouflage. Yeah, I wouldn't want to go down there, that's for sure. That's what Mike says. You should do a video on protesting on this channel to help people out right now. I mean, I could. Obviously, a lot of people are not going to listen. People don't listen to that stuff. People, they think they're part of some kind of a revolution. I can't help somebody who's... One of the reasons for this channel is to help people to avoid being brainwashed, even just a little bit, because we're all susceptible to certain things. But the social media mind control, what makes you think that you have the ability to go up and deal with the situation, poke the bear, and then complain about it when the bear mauls you? You know what I mean? It's part of the social media mind control program. It's part of the division. So, public protests don't really do much of anything in today's age. No, they don't. They don't. Newest book you're reading this week? I'm not reading a book currently. I will be on another book soon. I reread, it's a little short book, Smedley Butler's War is a Racket. Everybody should read that. I did read that like a week ago or so, and but it's a small book that I read in one night because it's just a little one. It's a little tiny little paper, basically. I spend a lot of my time in the recliner, safer that way. There you go. There you go. I mean, look, don't get me wrong. We run risks. I run risk driving every day, door dashing for money. You make money by running risk. You have to run risk, but you need to weigh the cost, and it has to be worth it. You know, it has to be worth it. I run risk to protect to provide for and to provide protection for. That's not wrong to say that, for my family. Um, so I do that for a reason, because I don't have the other skills. I don't have I have a certain set of skills. You know, I'm decent in front of, I guess, like I do well with cameras and stuff, you know. I'm fine with that. So I YouTube, okay? I love driving. I'm okay with that. So I drive for a living. I don't mind going into rough neighborhoods sometimes if I have to, but guess what? Even on DoorDash, what do? We try to avoid those neighborhoods. I don't want to go to the Dash Mart, but I will take that risk occasionally. You know what I mean? And it's the same thing. But why am I taking that risk? I'm taking that risk to provide for my family, not for some ideological thing that I don't even know it's going to be effective. Yeah, but you do need, uh, what you would need, well, like an entire army. I mean, that's what I'm saying, dude. Yeah, it's not, protests never change it. Yeah, exactly. Um, yeah, you believe aliens are real? I haven't seen any proof of that, Mike. So Joseph was talking about the Earth might be like, I don't know, he was saying dome or something. I think the Earth's round, but you know, whatever. Um, yeah, I don't, but I can't prove aliens were real. You know what I mean? I don't think, especially not the ones that people claim to have already seen. I don't think that's aliens. I think that's something different, dude. The mind plays tricks on you, and there's also a lot of other stuff going on in this Earth. So, you know, the stuff that people have seen and they're like, I saw an alien. Like, well, I don't think you saw an alien. I'll just put it that way. Kyrie Irving thinks the Earth is flat. OG Sean White inputting into the conversation. Thanks for that. Thanks for that. It's a dome firmament, Yusef says. I just don't know. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, I think it's round, and I think that it has an atmosphere around it, but I could be wrong, man. Isn't that kind of like a dome firmament, like an atmosphere around it, and it's dome shaped because it's round, you know? Like, that is like I mean, it kind of is like what you're saying, but like it's round and the atmosphere just goes around it. You know what I mean? Like, it's almost like that's kind of what it is. Like, I don't know. I don't know. It's funny because some people have like, yeah, look, I don't belittle anybody for their opinions on these things, because these are things we can't 100% prove. It's just like I do think that I think it's round, like, but it's okay. People believe the moon landing. Yeah, but I mean, okay, Mike, do you believe the moon landing was real or fake? I didn't get your take on it because I had other people in here earlier. They all voted. It was about half and half. It was about 60-40 real fake. It was a little bit more people believed it was real than believed it was fake. And then I said that I don't know. That's what I said. I have a hard time like convincing, like I can't become like an evangelist for an idea that like I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, so like if we're talking about the moon landing, I can't become that guy that's like, the moon landing is definitely fake, man. Like, I've got all the evidence, I got the whatever. I come with that conviction when I don't fully know. But I also can't say that it's real because I really don't have that conviction either to like say that it's real. And I can't BS you guys to that degree. You know what I mean? I just don't know. That's what I can say about that. But I'll entertain the ideas. I think to say that I would know would be a little bit too much. Was the space race to the moon really to retrieve crashed alien ship to get the technology? I don't know. What if aliens are alive from the devil? Uh, yeah, I mean, look, the aliens could be closer to that than what maybe they say they are. I would go down that path with that, like something like that. What you're saying, Yosef. I think if somebody said like I was abducted by gray aliens and I know they were how do you know they were aliens? Did you go to another planet with them? Like, what's going on? How do you know they were aliens? It could be some other thing, right? There's other entities in the Bible. It does talk about like uh, there's these powers that were basically put over all the regions, and after the Tower of Babel and stuff like that. So everybody was separated, and there was entities that were basically put over all those regions. So yeah, I mean, I'm not, you know, I'm not saying that something crazy couldn't be the case, and that, but I don't think it's aliens. I don't know for sure that it's like demons or anything like that either. I'm not sure. Could be. More likely that than aliens because, they're here. They're not from outer space. I don't think they're from outer space. Wouldn't we see them coming in? Like we'd see them landing or something? Unless they're interdimensional. But what is interdimensional? Is that the spiritual realm, right? So we're talking about the spiritual realm then. You could say, well, that I don't want to talk about the spiritual realm. Well, that's what the spiritual realm describes the interdimensional thing. That's what the description of the spiritual realm basically is. It's like there's things that you can't see here, that we can't see on this level, that we're given to see, and they're happening on a different level simultaneously. That's like it is a different dimensional understanding of reality, but it's part of the whole thing. And so that's spirituality it describes that, like the spiritual world, different realms. They put a mirror on it. You can reflect the laser. People have proved it. Really, Mike? That's interesting. So that's a point for the real moon landing. See, I'll take these data points and I'll add them into my. I'll have to look that up. But there were UFOs seen during the moon mission. I'm sure they saw some weird stuff, man. Skinwalker Ranch documented a connection between UFOs in the sky and paranormal activity below the ground. Interesting. Yeah, Skinwalker Ranch. That's another interesting one, right? We're hitting all the conspiracy theory notes today. Not all of them. There's a few we haven't, and I'm not going to go there. Let's not. It's already been a 3-hour live stream. We have to manage these things like carefully, lest we get completely off the rails. I do want to also focus on like living our life to the fullest. I know you can go deeper into the moon landing, yes, if I know, but we like that would be a whole long thing. So, Hitchhiker effect, Skinwalker Ranch, paranormal activity, scary figures, yeah. Well, some of that stuff might be somewhat. I'm hearing things out here. It's dark outside, and you guys are talking about crazy stuff like Skinwalker Ranch, and then I hear something over there. It's just the wind blowing. I'm in the command center, so we're good. We got everything we need here. People saw a portal in the sky in New York City above a Skinwalker Ranch documented. Huh. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of things we don't know, right? And there's a lot of things we don't understand. And so a lot, like, if you think about it, like in times, when people didn't understand certain technologies and like people would come from one civilization to another civilization that didn't have that technology, and you can imagine what they might have thought about them. So I wonder if human technology, because I've heard also in the past that like technology that is kept secret is like, far in advance of what we have here, that what we have available. Well, I mean, dude, if we can do the things we can do with these phones, dang, I'd love to know what the secret stuff. I mean, I don't even think I want to know, but wouldn't it be interesting to know what the secret stuff does? We know about the AI algorithms and how it like, you ever like have a thing like where you're talking about like beds or something, and then you get an advertisement for like a mattress on the TV or on the phone, right? Because it's listening to you, and then the algorithm's automatically like calculating all that stuff, and they're saying, well, the chances this person might be a conversion sale from this advertisement or whatever, and it's doing all that, and then it sends you the advertisement for the mattress. So if they're doing that now, what's the next level? Yeah, that is the old stuff. I know that's the old stuff. But what I'm saying is, what's the next level? Some people even go as far as to think that, and reasonable people even go so far as to think that they could pretty much, like you said, read your thoughts. Yeah, no, Mike. And what I think that is like a paper trail, a breadcrumb trail from where you've been for the last 2 or 3 years, the algorithm picking up everything, and it's almost like predictive. And so it's not reading your mind, but it's like predicting where your mind will probably go based on the inputs. And since the algorithm has more control over what those inputs are than ever, it can actually create the inputs to end up getting the output. This is what my whole social media mind control program, I should make a whole series on it, but that concept is all about. In my mind, that's what I kind of have like deduced, that concept of the whole, all the MK Ultra stuff, that was, what they have now with the algorithms it does that. It does that. You could basically encourage somebody to think a certain way, put them in a political box, make them a political activist, get them out there eventually with 2 or 3 years of programming and conditioning under the social media mind control program. You can get them out there like, thinking that they can, I don't know, be violent towards law enforcement or something and get away with it. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Which we know on a basic level is kind of dumb to do, right? Like, would you ever do that if you got pulled over? Start yelling at the guy, get out your car and like blow up your chest? I don't think I could get away with that and probably even survive. Like, if I survived, I'd be happy. I know I'd have some bruises after. You get what I'm saying? It's just, I know that. I just know that. When you figure out the perfect quantum computer, combines all that AI, that is truly scary. Well, that's what they're working on. They're working on the chips that are smaller and more economical and all of that stuff. So they're working on building that. And that's also what the data centers are for, is to aggregate all the information. So the data centers are like an organism, dude. Check out my videos if you guys haven't watched them. Mike, if you haven't watched my videos, do check them out. But the data centers are kind of like an organism because they require water for cooling. They require resources, electricity, power. They require space. They take up space, kind of like the Borg. They come in and they just take over. They build. They take all the power. They take all the water, and they just control everything. So. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, probably need to call it a day here. There's one out in the woods about 4 miles from the edge of town. It is insane. Yeah. I'm gonna do, so I have my last video, I think, is about the data centers, Mike. Go check that out. I'm gonna talk about, okay, you probably already seen it. I don't know, but go check it out on this channel. It's I kind of like, even just talking it out in that video, because I was just driving and vibing, but I was just talking it out about thinking about the resources and stuff. And by the end of the video, it's like, I was almost like just listening to myself talk about it. I was like, dude, it's like an organism. It's like a thing. This is like civilizations used to do this, they would come to the United States and then what is now the United States, come in and start building. And now we have New York, we have San Francisco, we have all these places. Water cooling pipes, the whole 9 yards. Yeah. Solar panels. Aaron's gig. What's up, man? How's it going? Are you working yet? It's you're probably just getting up. We're talking about crazy, dude. We've talked about all kinds of crazy stuff. Aaron, do you believe the moon landing is real or fake? We talked about that. I asked everybody's opinion on it. It was about 60-40 real, 40 fake. I personally don't know. I don't have any reason. I don't have much reason to believe it's hard to believe it's real or fake. I mean, I don't even know. Like, I don't even know what to say. So I'm kind of asking people what they think about that. We get into some interesting conversations over here on this channel. Right in your own backyard. Yeah. I've always wondered why they haven't done it again. Yeah, that was my question, was like, because I think it was 1972, somebody said, why do it for that period of time and then never go back? And then I guess they have unmanned missions up there, but we can't get men up there. I don't know. It's weird. So that's the weird part for me. Somebody also posited on the other end, they said, why would they fake it? but then somebody countered and said because it was the Cold War and stuff. So maybe that's true. So I do think it's suspect what you said. What you said is exactly what I was kind of what I've said, and it was like, why haven't we gone back since? And I think that's a valid question. And until we got a valid answer for that, I still have that question. I mean, I just don't know. But I can't say that I know one way or another. So I can't like preach it like it's the gospel. You know what I'm saying? I can't just get up here and be like, I freaking know what happened, you know, or what didn't happen. I don't. I don't know. That's the thing that bugs me a little bit about it. And at the end of the day, guys, it's fun to speculate on these things, but it doesn't pay the bills and it doesn't, you know, build the community and all those things. So keep that in mind, guys. We're just speculating for fun. What's going on in my... When they pounded on the moon, they said it was hollow, possibly huge, something built by aliens. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. But what are aliens? You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. When somebody's like, "Do you believe in aliens?" I'm like, "Well, I've never seen an alien. I don't know. I don't have anything to prove to me that they're real. That aliens are aliens." And some people say that aliens, they've seen them, but I'm like, "Well, dude, wouldn't we see them coming from space or something?" Then we go into the interdimensional thing, and then that goes into like a spiritual realm. So then it's like you're just chasing your tail with that one. That's a fun one. The hollow moon, kind of like the hollow Earth, right? You know, it's like, yeah, there's caves, but I don't think the Earth. Maybe it's hollow, maybe it's not. Thought there was a molten lava core in there somewhere. I'm not sure. I really don't know, man. I don't know. I wish I did. It'd be cool to know for sure. But I can't get down with the dome Earth thing. I do believe that it's a round. I think it's round. I mean, it seems to be round. Everything like our traveling, like you couldn't travel around the world if it wasn't round. I feel like that. We have the opposite hemispheres. You know what I mean? Like, look, Yosef. I have people in Australia that watch my videos like every day. And they're in Australia and they're like on the other side of the world and they're in a different time. They're in a different season. They're like summertime there. So that makes sense with the globe thing, right? With the sun being in the hemisphere, like us spinning around the sun at a certain hemisphere or whatever, and like it makes sense, right? Doesn't it? That they're at a different, you know, and sometimes when the sun is down on one side of the earth, the sun is up on the other side of the earth. Doesn't that makes the spinning thing make sense to me? He said, "What is Nephilims?" People say the proof is out there. Yeah, but I mean, you know, where? Out where? At the end of the rainbow. Like, I'm on my final dash day. My final dash off right now. Completed 40 minutes. I will have made over $300 today. OG Sean White making another $300 day. Dude, he's just crushing it out there. Appreciate the motivation. I can't dash right now, but I appreciate the motivation, dude. Thanks for checking in. Goodness gracious, it makes me want to dash, man. I can't dash. So my the dash was turned off earlier until just recently, like before I started live streaming, the dash came back with all these crazy numbers. But I just decided I'm done for the day anyway, so figured we would hang out here. But yeah, dude, you go get it, dude. Sean White, I can't wait for the short that you're gonna come out with for that one. You got to make a short because of the $300 day. The stories found in Admiral Byrd's journal were explored the Antarctic in the 1800s. Had some pretty wild stories about everything being trapped behind an ice wall. Yeah, I've looked at the Admiral Byrd stuff. It's hard to know. Can I send you a video on plot saying it was round? They would have issues. I mean, you could just tell me, but I've probably seen it, dude. I've probably seen it. The asphalt theory instead of flat Earth. Yeah, Yeah, I would say at this point, Yosef, definitely, if you want to talk about that, definitely. I mean, I kind of am in agreement with Sonoran on this one. You should do that on your channel. You know what I mean? I mean, definitely. And I don't mean that in a bad way, but definitely go into that. Cause I'm not going to go, I don't want to go too deep into like, I've looked at all that stuff. Like, I'm telling you, man, I have looked at all that stuff. I think the earth is round. I really do. I really do. I think it's the thing that makes the most sense. I'm okay with it. Yeah. I believe everybody should be able to have an opinion. I'm glad that somebody's out there looking at some of the inconsistencies of this and that. But I believe the earth is round, man. Um, and but if you got that stuff, man, I mean, make the video and I'll watch the video. How about that? Make the video and I'll watch the video. You know what I mean? Just let me know when you made it and I'll watch it. And put the stuff together. That could be your channel, dude. Put the stuff together. Um, and do that. But I don't have. It goes back into my philosophy, but with the macro politics, it's like, dude, I don't have time to really care too much about the stuff that I don't have any control over, because then I get consumed by it. It's fun to speculate about the aliens and the Nephilim and all that stuff, and we'll do that from time to time. I like to sprinkle that in, but I'm also going to be focused on more so like what can we do in our actual life. This is because the whole point of all these things is to realize the pointlessness of it. And then it goes back to, okay, I've got to put my hours in at work. I've got to put my time in building my systems, building my community, helping people, growing my channels, right? My YouTube channels and stuff like that. My YouTube channels are the only reason that I had any income the last 2 days. You know what I mean? Not this one, because this one's not monetized yet, but you get what I'm saying? So building those things is very important, to spend the time building those things, because it could mean a lot. And it could mean more than getting caught up in the macro politics or the whether the moon. I mean, it's fun to speculate, you know what I'm saying? But I don't have the time to do the research anymore in my life. Like, I've looked at a lot of that stuff when I was younger, and I haven't found where it actually serves me to really look like that deep into it, because it would take so much time. And that's time I gotta spend building my other stuff, man. I build my communities, building my, you know what I mean? And that's kind of like, that's something that I talk about on this channel even. Like, but it's great to speculate, and I'll watch the video and stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah, Michael's been here. Mike, wait. Yeah, Michael's been here before you were here, I think. But you found us, so you guys all found us. Everybody's finding us, all the real ones or whatever. Yeah, Michael's been listening. He said what's up earlier. He's just been in the background. Probably like, dude, you nuts. You crazy people. Saying people believe in the moon landing fell for COVID, John. I get that. I understand that. About the COVID and all that. And I see that. That's when I started really, I didn't have a name for it, but I started formulating my like social media mind control hypothesis. It is what it is. I think it's a real thing. But I think the idea of it is to take us away from our real purpose. And so, like, one of my purposes is building these systems and building these communities online, hopefully to help people. And I can't help but so much going so deep into certain topics, because really that's counterintuitive, because we don't have time for that. You know what I mean? Like, people don't have time for that. People gotta figure out what what works and hammer that, because we got, families to take care of and stuff. Not the same, but I understand the metaphor. Yeah. Just glad that the mess is over with, right? Well, yeah. What systems? So my whole life is a system. Everything is a system. So when in a normal day when the weather's not bad, I wake up, I do my eBay, right? I ship the eBay off. The driving of the shipping of the eBay to the post office is the same as the driving into my DoorDash, which is the same as the driving into my YouTube, right? Because I'm about to then DoorDash and YouTube, right? And then I DoorDash and YouTube, and then we talk about my other channel, which I build into this, and now I do this. And so this is the other channel. So when you watch my other YouTube channel, you might find this one, and now you found this one, right? That's a system. You can build systems into anything you do, right? I mean, that's a very rudimentary version of what I'm talking about, but that's a system because one thing links with another, like gears, right? So the eBay turns, and I have a purpose for everything that I do, multiple purposes. So the purpose of when I drive my eBay packages to the post office is also the same purpose as driving to DoorDash, which is also the same purpose as driving to where I'm going to be doing YouTube for the next 6, 8, 10 hours or whatever, which is, you know what I'm saying? So it goes into one thing and another. And then I have conversation sprinkled in over there, and we enjoy that conversation. And now we can pull some of those conversations, because they can't all take place over there all the time, over here. And so now we have this going on over here. And I have this van situation where, you know, it's a work van, and I can use it as a beater, and I'm also trying to get rid of it, but while I still have it, it's a studio. So now this is a studio. So then that works in with everything else. I would like to build some off-grid systems. Yeah, that'd be cool too. Oh yeah, the Starlink goes right into all of this, right? Because this allows continuity across the board. No matter where I'm at, I can reach out with the Starlink. So that's another thing. Speaking of off-grid systems, here's an off-grid system, what I'm using right now. I can broadcast off the Starlink. I can keep my laptops and all my stuff charged with these boxes. I actually have solar panels for the boxes, so technically speaking, I can charge them during the daytime. I have a solar panel for each box. I have a solar panel kit for each box. I could get that going. My ring light, everything is working off this thing, so technically I'm off the grid. So there's that. That's another like system, but you can build into that system and add on to it. Like before, I didn't have the Starlink. Now I have the Starlink. So I have redundancy in my communications. So I have my, and look, I know a lot of this stuff is pretty regular. Like, you know, you just have regular stuff, but I view it in a different way. I view all of my stuff as operation. Like everything is, this is the mission. This is the operation. My life is very serious. Like I take care of my family. Everybody should look at it this way, by the way. You know, it's not like too revolutionary to think that way. I think the volume's going to go down a little bit because I have to plug this up, or else we're going to miss the stream. You get what I'm saying? So I look at everything that I do as if it's like very important. We have to do it the best we can, right? And that's kind of another thing that we talk about over here on this channel. Want to be able to live and exist in a house in the woods without needing anything, be totally self-sufficient. That's hard to do, Mike. You're still going to need people and civilization to get your tools, to get some of the other products. You're going to have to get your salt. You're going to have to get your, you know. I have a video about the cabin in the woods. Mike, go watch my video about the Matrix is a psyop. But the closer to self-sufficient you are, the better you are, because the more you can help other people and then still work in a community, but maybe outside of that community. Like personally, I like living in the middle of nowhere. It has its downsides, but it has its upsides. The upsides are major. I've lived in apartments. I didn't like that. I'd rather live out in the middle of nowhere. I still have to go in and rely on people, though. You can't be a fully lone wolf. It's almost impossible. Humans aren't made that way. Can you do videos on how you use systems in your life? Sure. Not everyone has a family to take care of, so there's that. That's true. If you don't have a family to take care of, you can be, well, so like Mike, I could live in this van, and this is something to think about maybe for you. I don't know, but like this van, I spending time live streaming in here, I'm constantly looking around and I'm getting ideas. Like I could live out of this van if it was just me. I can't do it because I have a family to take care of. But if it was just me, I could do it. I could convert this sucker. I would have to have like a membership to, but still I rely on people because I would have to have like a membership to like Planet Fitness or something so I could get showers and things like that and use the facilities on a regular basis. So if I could do that every morning, I could go out, I could live in the van. I could even DoorDash. I could build that into my system of van living. You could use the van doesn't get great gas mileage, but you can do it. You could still make a profit, and since you're not like paying rent, your overhead would be a lot lower. It could be doable. You don't have to make a couple $100. You can make a couple $100 a day. Your base of operations is the van. So you could just stay in the van all the time. I know people that do it. They're in that like the living in the van life thing, and a lot of those guys actually DoorDash and Uber Eats and Walmart Spark and stuff for their income. And they do that. They can do that town to town to town. So this is a way to do it. Did you read books about systems? I think it's just an inherent thing. It's a way of look. It's a mindset. I don't think I've read specific books about systems, but I'm not saying there aren't good ones out there. I'm sure there are. But for me, it's just a mindset. It's like, can I do something? If I can do something that could benefit in one way, I can do something that has like 3 or 4 meanings, like 3 or 4 purposes, right? Like my other channel, it is a DoorDash channel simultaneously with being a car channel, simultaneously with being an adventure channel, simultaneously with being a channel just about me and my daily life. All those things are actually true. There's merit to all of them. Some of the people that watch my videos watch them because it's me. Some of them watch it because of the DoorDash. Some of them watch it because of the crazy stuff we talk about, right? Some of them watch it because it's an adventure, right? Like everything's an adventure. So multiple things are true at once. What's up, Yoli? How's it going? How's the snowstorm? We didn't get hit as bad as they thought. Power didn't go out because we got sleet yesterday instead of freezing rain, so it wasn't as bad. DoorDash was offline this morning for about half a day when I went live earlier on the other was offline, and then it's back on now, but now it's like freezing and it's dark out, and I'm not going out right now because it's not all the roads are not cleared. So I'm gonna give it till about noon tomorrow, and we'll see what happens. Might go out for a half a day tomorrow during the daylight, kind of explore around, and that'll give us an idea how far we can push it tomorrow and see what happens, because we're supposed to get more snow next week. Actually, this weekend, Saturday, of course. You can build a shower outside of a van. Yeah, of course you can. Yeah, they make reservoirs that you could put on your vehicle for that. It's the whole thing. Was it hard to get used to talking to yourself in the camera? Well, yeah. Kinda, yeah. But you get used to it after a while. You realize you're talking to people. You know, the thing is to realize people on the other end. So once you realize that, it's like you're talking to your friends, like you're talking to people, and then it's not so bad. You know what I mean? But at first, you're like, what am I doing here? You look around and people are looking at you like you're in public, like, talking to the camera, and you're like, you can look at my oldest videos on driving daily, and you can see the difference. You get better at it though over time. Not that I'm good at it. You get better than I was. I watch live. I watch for the person, etc. Yeah, exactly, Sonoran. And so yeah. So whether you're watching if it's DoorDash stuff, right? Whether you're watching me or you're watching Aaron or whatever, right? We both have different personalities, and we put different things into, and I think that's what people really are like, whether we know that or not. I think that's what people really like, is to be able to see somebody else's take on life, the way they do it, what they're gonna do next, like how's it going, to keep up with people. And yeah, and it's a good time because of that, because we're not all the same, because we're individuals. And this is the beautiful thing about being real people versus AI. That's why it's Real Thoughts Project, dude. That's why this channel was called Real Thoughts Project, because when I started the channel, a lot of AI stuff was coming out, and also the social media mind control. A lot of people have been brainwashed to believe what they believe, and they don't even know why they believe it. And it's because you've been watching, people have been put in these information bubbles, like smaller and smaller information bubbles. They don't get any information out from the outside. They're not looking at people as other people. They're looking at people as the other thing. You're a Republican. You look at that's a Democrat, or you're a Democrat. That's a Republican. That guy voted for Trump, or that guy voted for Biden, or that guy did this. Instead of, like, the way I look at it is like, that's a person. Okay, that's a person. They eat, they drink, they sleep. You know, they need sunlight. They need interaction with people just like everybody else. You know, so people, personal things. That's why lives do well. That's why live streams do well. It's a good point, Sonora. How do you get used to talking to 1 to 2 viewers on the live stream? Well, sometimes because you have to. You've got to get used to talking to 1 to 2 viewers. And look, honestly, Yosef, if you have 1 to 2 viewers, you get a very personal experience. It's kind of like a teacher. A teacher that goes to a school with 60 kids in the class, it's never going to be as good of an experience for the class as if it's like 1 to 2. Now, a good teacher can scale that up. So they learn 1 to 2. And then if they're really good, they might be able to figure out how to speak to 60 people, just like they're speaking to 1 to 2 people. You know what I mean? So that's the difference. Like, that's how a teacher gets good too. You know, it's like, how do you do a one-on-one interaction? You know, well, now how do we scale that up to where it's like, hey, like I'm talking to each of you, you know, and I appreciate each of you, right? How well they engage, how real they are, if they resonate with me. That's right. You're very well prepared. You're good. You changed your channel name. I like these random talks. I didn't change my channel name. This is the second channel, Yoli. My other channel is Driving Daily, but this is my second channel. I have another channel, so I didn't change the channel name. Talks through these modern day and somewhat controversial ideas. And yeah, make sure you're subscribed to both, because you might not even be subscribed to this. I don't know this channel, but yeah, this is my second one. My other channel is Driving Daily. I do the driving and I do the DoorDash and stuff over there. So this is where we do the kind of talking about the stuff that we're talking about now. Yeah, there's a voyeur in all of us. Let's watch other people. Yeah. Well, you just want to connect to, and it's the same reason we read a book. You read a book about somebody's life that they wrote about their own life, to get their experiences, to get their insights, to get the wisdom that they've gained over time. You take the good and you leave the bad. You know, that's how it is with anything. AI is a double-edged sword, just like the internet. Social media has evolved to what it is today. It just depends on how the user employs it, and that's very true. I'll give you that. I think it's very true. Imagine if these were super chats. If there were super chats in the classroom for the teacher. I know. Well, guys, if we keep building this channel, we'll get back to the point where it's like my other channel. I just look at it as I'm paying my dues. You know, I'm working for free, but that's okay, and I'm okay with that, because I think it's worth it. I think it's a worthy goal. And I appreciate you guys being here. You guys being here makes it a worthy goal. If you weren't here, you know, still be doing it probably, but you know, trying to just do the best that I can for my community. Subscribe, cool. Thank you. All right, guys. Well, I got to get off here. I got to end the stream. It's been almost 4 hours. I appreciate you guys hanging out. There's 27 people here still. I've got to end the stream here. Next time you see me, we'll probably be on Driving Daily. I'll either be here or I'll either be in the car. So we're going to see. I'm going to play it by ear tomorrow. I have no idea what I'm going to do. I'm going to let that sun get up. Hopefully the sun gets up first and let it melt some stuff. And then we'll see how it goes. And I'll probably just like slowly venture out and just go 1 mile at a time and see how it goes. And if the roads are good, we're just going to crush it. If the roads are, we're going to go slow, and we'll see how it goes. All right. So, Aaron says later, thanks for being here, sharing your time. Yes. Thank you too, Sonoran, for being here as well. Probably see some of you guys later in Aaron's chat. Take care. Yep. Snow stream, Driving Daily, live stream tomorrow. Hopefully so. Yeah. Have a great night, John. Thanks, Craig. Appreciate that. All right, guys, the streets can't be that bad. They're probably not. You're a good driver. Yeah, that's true. Front wheel drive too. It's better than rear wheel drive. That's for sure. Later, buddy. Thank you, Yusuf. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end it here. And like I always say, Lord willing, I'll see you in the next one. All right, I'm out.